Yeah. Check the mic, 1, 2. Cook a mellow on the frequency. From the indies to the big stage. Every territory, every promotion. Locked in. WrestleCast radio. Yeah. Ryan Cook and Alex Mello, guardians of the ring, analyzing every lariat and every high-fly wing. We're global with the coverage, checking every single feed, giving every wrestling fanatic exactly what they need. From the neon lights of Tokyo to arenas in the States, we're debating all the legends and the upcoming greats, dropping knowledge on the history, the work rate, and the draw. When the bell rings loud, we're the ones who see it all. It's WrestleCast radio, coming through your speakers loud, feeding the energy of every single wrestling crowd. From the Tokyo Dome to Garden, we bring the heat, cooking mellow on the track, making the cipher complete. Yeah, we talk the game, we live the fight. WrestleCast radio, rocking through the night. Yeah. We're diving deep into the Dragongate, the speed and the soul. Then we're shifting over to Noah, where the heavy hitters roll. New Japan Pro Wrestling, where the Lions find their pride. All Japan's triple crown, yeah, we're taking you inside. But let's get to the talk, it's burning up the wire. Mia Hara and AJPW, he's preaching to the choir. Kento is a king, but the castle's getting small. It's time to leave all Japan, time to give the world a call. Imagine the dream matches, the stages he could grace, instead of staying stuck in the same familiar place. It's WrestleCast radio, coming through your speakers loud, feeding the energy of every single wrestling crowd. From the Tokyo Dome to Garden, we bring the heat, cooking mellow on the track, making the cipher complete. Yeah, we talk the game, we live the fight. WrestleCast radio, rocking through the night. Yeah. Don't forget the stardom queens, the glory and the grit, every Joshi masterpiece. We're breaking down the hit, then we pivot to the west, where the landscape's changing fast. AEW's revolution built to thrive and built to last. WEUE, the spectacle, the stories and the fame. We cover every angle of the sports entertainment game. No buyers in the booth, just a passion for the craft. From the main event spotlight to the bottom of the draft. If you love the squared circle, then you're in the right spot, with the hosts who keep it moving while the iron is hot. From the strong style strikes to the entertainment flair, if there's a ring in the canvas, you know that we're there. Cook's got the stats, Mello's got the vision, making every single take with surgical precision. No robbers, WrestleCast radio, coming through your speakers loud, feeding the energy of every single wrestling crowd. From the Tokyo Dome to Garden, we bring the heat, cooking Mello on the track, making the cipher complete. Yeah, we talk the game, we live the fight. WrestleCast radio, rocking through the night. Dragongate, Noah in the New Japan way. Stardom and the dub, yeah, we do it every day. Kento, it's time to fly, leave that crown behind. WrestleCast radio, one of a kind, cooking mellow, we're out. Cooking mellow, we're out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome as we come to you here with episode 253 on the WrestleCast. I don't know why I always have to do it that way, Alex, but excited getting this going.
It's because you're an honorary member, so I mean, I get it. Represent St. Paul.
Shout out to Cameron.
Shout out Jey Uso. That's great. Actually, no, not shout out to Jey Uso. Shout out to the Cameron. I'm about to beat Jey Uso's ass. I don't want no Saturday night guy. I want a Sunday night guy. You see that?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not smelling what the Oos is cooking.
Oh, Cameron. Bibbity bibbity boosey. I be popping that pussy because I be getting oosey juicy. Loosey goosey noosey. Papoosey.
See? You could do this shit too. Hell yeah.
I be Chicagoland, I be with my right hand, and then we be going to Japan when we'll be jamming with Ribera. I be Yogi Berra, hitting grand slams, even though he ain't do that, but he said, let's put one for the skipper, because I be that. I don't know.
Look, I was in here doing that Jay-Z meme with the glasses on when his head's bobbing side to side. I was like, all
right. Must be the haze. But yes, since the last show, a lot has been happening around in the wonderful world of pro wrestling. A lot to make us just be in pure bliss. A lot of us scratching, a lot of it making us scratch our head with disbelief, and a lot of it in the medium zone. But the last couple of months, especially with one company, has been reigniting my love of watching professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Actually, two companies, I think, heading into the right direction.
And those two companies we're going to dig into in just a quick moment. But we want to bring these out there because we don't want to miss this in case, because we're going 100 miles an hour on this show because it's Mania weekend. There's shit to do. But damn it, we got to talk about two companies real quick. I want to get a one-hitter quitter on them. First one, Dragongate, Alex, 4-6 Korakuen Hall. Kai versus Madoka Kikuta for the title was a banger of a match. Kikuta gets the victory, and the whole time, all of Gajidokuro would help each other cheat. It was pretty good, because every time you would see Kikuta trying to do something, they would help Kai cheat, or vice versa, and everyone's confused, and they're looking at it, they're like, we don't fucking care, as long as Gajidokuro keeps the title, what does it matter? So they're doing all their shit, and, finally, obviously Shun gets the win, but they told such an interesting story in a unit member versus unit member match, and heel, and the crowd was so behind Kai. It was ridiculous. I thought that Tokyo crowd was like, I was like, man, are they going to turn him face? They're cheering for him so hard. So
I mean, but Kai's proven it. I mean, he was, a champion, 2-3 years ago. I mean, for a long stretch of time, at least 6 months. And he was doing some good stuff, with Z-Brats and what was the group before that they formed from Z-Brats?
Was it RED?
Was it RED to Z-Brats? I wanted to say that, but I don't want to be like an asshole. But it's been a long time since we had some RED in our lives.
Because it was Berserk, and Berserk went to RED in like 2018, I think.
Okay.
Or 2019, and then right when we really dug into it, when Pat came back, they had RED, I think, until like 2022 or 2023. And then, because remember, Eita went with like Yosuke Santa Maria as like a baby face, and then ended up just leaving the company.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when they went to Z-Brats with Shun and the helm. And then when Kikuta kicked out Shun or took over or whatever, that's when they went to Gachadokuro, I believe. I need a damn Tums.
A Tums, but no, and I didn't, I haven't watched Dragongate probably in about a good month here. Not out of spite or strike, especially with the departure of a very big key talent who is now a free agent in Dragon Dia, as we'll talk here in a bit. But I know they have, as Ryan was stating. Are you all right there, sir?
Sorry, we didn't have the button anymore, so I just did it for you.
Oh, gotcha.
Since we don't have the Dragon Dia button.
But R.I.P. But the Gate of Passion, yeah, God, I remember that. Gate of Passion, kind of or the Golden Colosseum. I apologize. Definitely has some big stakes, as Ryan's going to get into. So, as you said, Kikuta, Hip Hop Forever, retained the title against
Kai.
Against Kai, thank you. But your prediction of Yoshioka beating him for the title did not come about. What do you think of that positioning, or do you think that is just a setup for the main events of Golden Colosseum?
I don't know, because that really intrigued me, because I thought for sure that was the route we were going. It was going to be he's going to drop it back to Yuki Yoshioka, because, he won... Because he won King of Gate, if I remember right.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, perfect. Set him up. He's going to win it. And then, nothing happened. And it was like, okay, it is what it is. I'm starting to wonder now if they're going back to Shun. Because, so after this Kai and Kikuta match, Shun comes out, and he's got Homara Kato with him as always, and he's talking all sorts of shit and laughing at him, and he calls out big boss Shimizu, who I haven't seen all show, And I was wondering why he wasn't in any of the undercards, and I'm like, where the hell has Big Boss been?
Which they just came off their match. That was the last time I think I watched the Dragongate show was that card.
Oh, yeah, him in that awesome KZ match.
Yeah.
And so Big Boss comes out. He blew his knee out or tore his ACL or something. I'm not sure the exact injury. And as he's on his crutches. And Shun's like, look, he's hurt. He's done already. Obviously, he's the loser of the match. So put him in the damn chair, sit down, and we're cutting his hair off. And Shun's like, I'll do it my damn self because he can't climb a cage. So how the hell is he going to win? And Omari Kato's like, your logic makes sense. Then all of a sudden, Kikuta's like, fuck that. Wait, hold on. And Big Boss even sat down in the chair and he was like, go ahead and do it. I don't even care. I'll take one for the team. And Kikuta stops him and he's like, look, I'm going to take his spot. I'm not booked on Golden Colosseum. I'm in the main event. And I'm going to make sure that I'm the first one out to prove you guys I'm the best. And he's just putting himself over. So then Yoshiki Kato comes out. And Homare is there. And he's like, you know what? I'll just put up our unit. If we win, you guys break up. And then, so now they're starting to talk about the units breaking. So then GM Saito comes in and he's like, hold on. We need to figure this out because I can't lose anybody because I need the talent for ratings, and everyone's laughing.
They have ratings.
Yeah, he's like, let's not worry about that or whatever. I don't know the exact translation, but like the gist I got out of it was, nobody's doing anything until we figure this out, yada yada. So then they're going back and forth. And then El Cielo comes out and he's cutting on the stick. And we end up finding out that we're doing everything. The loser of the match, whoever doesn't get one of the 5 flags, it's Shun Skywalker, Homare Kato, and El Cielo of Saipatra, Madoka Kikuta, Kota Minora, and Yoshiki Kato of Gaja Dokoro. And the one who doesn't get a flag is getting their head shaved. If it's Kikuta that loses, Big Boss still will then get his head shaved because that's a true loss. And their unit will disband.
Oof.
I think if I had
Aren't these all fairly new units?
Gajadokro's
Within a year?
Gosh, how long has Gajadokro been going?
Like 9 months?
Let me see if I can. Let me see Dragongate.
Because I get that confused with Shun Skywalker's
September
gimmicks.
4th, 2025. So yeah, it hasn't even been a full year. Gianni Valletta, I forgot, used to be in there for a minute. Yeah, so it sounds like if I look at the history, August 17th, after winning the Open the Dream Gate from Shun, Kikuta declared the end of Z-Bratz's unit, with the rest of the remaining members following his decision. September 4th, the stable was named Gacha Dokuro, which translates to We Snake Skulls. The name derived from Gacha Dokuro, a spirit that took the form of a giant skeleton composed of the skulls of people who died on the battlefield or from starvation. So cool. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my quick hitter assessment on this. I feel like we're slowly leading to, I don't know if it's Kobe World or where we're going, but I think Shun might be the guy to win. But the dark horse, like, I feel like, and this is where I don't know where my thoughts are, and I think that's why I wanted to bring this up first with you, is, to me, the most sense makes to have El Cielo lose this match.
Okay. Why is that now?
Because then you can unmask him and show it's Takumi TN Revolucion or whatever that it's rumored to be.
You have been pushing that narrative for quite a while now.
I could be way wrong.
What if it's you? What if you're trying to swerve the audience and myself?
Oh man, that you would have seen it coming.
No.
I'm looking on Pure System right now, where you can look at all these all the factions and everything, and he doesn't El Cielo doesn't even have a page on it.
Oh, interesting.
So there's still the we don't know who it is type thing. I feel like it makes the most sense to have him lose.
Okay.
And then you unveil him, and then you can split them up, and you can stretch these guys out to maybe try getting another babyface faction open. Because like right here, even on Cage Match, El Cielo still doesn't have a Cage Match page either. So
something's brewing. I think you might be onto something.
And I think you have an opportunity if you want to try to make a new babyface unit that way. Because I don't know if they were just testing things out or what, but the other thing on that Gate of Passion show from Korakuen from the 6th, probably the best match of the whole show, was they did a 10-year anniversary of the Reiwa New Generation or whatever from the 2016 class. And they did a tag where it was Hyo and Yuki Yoshioka against Ben K and Shun Skywalker. And it was tremendous. And I don't know if that's just, they're just talking about, hey, let's just do it because of the anniversary. Or I know this company's very calculated. Maybe it was, hey, let's just test the waters with these guys and just see what the fan reaction is to the match. Because, I don't know, Paradox is kind of stale to me. With Yamato and Dragon Kid and those guys, Kagetora, Susumu.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I used to know all of these factions, but they've it seems like there's a new one with the same groups of people, or majority of them, within the last 4 years, where I'm like, what, huh? And then they have silly ass names sometimes, and I'm like, I have no idea who's in who's. Like Shun's and fucking Kikuta's look the same.
And I mean, I don't think you do anything with Love and Peace because I think Ben K and Hyo are super over. But at the same time,
have them tag.
You just lost Dragon Dia. So to me that makes me think right off the bat. Okay, well, where do we go now with that faction? So that's where I'm just that's what I'm trying to figure out I don't know, because D Courage is just sitting there. Yuki Yoshioka and Ryoya Tanaka, Dia and Kikuta were the 4. Kikuta's gone. Dia's now gone. So D Courage is just 2 people. I mean, Luis Monte doesn't have a unit. Do you throw him in there? Or do you break up Saipatra and try to combine D Courage and Saipatra and do a new babyface unit? So that's just kind of why I feel like that's Gachidokoro's going to win. And you're not unmasking Shun. No. I don't think anyone's going to really care much if you shave Homare's head, which... Unless
if Shun's on his way out and they want... No, they wouldn't do that. I don't think they would screw him over like that.
No, I don't think so either. But I do think that means El Cielo's the odd man out. So...
Which I thought El Cielo was in Shun's unit.
Oh, yeah. He is in Saipatra. So that's why I was just saying, you kill Saipatra. D Courage is pretty much already dead because half of the unit's gone. One's running the heel unit, and the other's probably going to All Japan or New Japan. So now you have 2 guys that have nothing to do, and you have a faction that... Sorry, there's an animal going crazy in the hallway.
Yeah, I never hear stuff coming.
Yeah, it threw me for a loop. So I feel like you could just put those guys together, and you could put Luis Monte with them, and now you have a new babyface unit. So those are kind of just quick hitter thoughts I wanted to talk about with Dragongate. Anything else you want to go over with Dragongate?
Yeah, so the Dragon Dia situation.
Yes.
So Magnum Tokyo went on a talk show. Or was it Magnum Tokyo's talk show with
Shima?
One Dragongate godfather, if you will. The Carney of all Carnies in Japan, next to, of course, Suhiro Takagi of DDT and Wrestle Universe. He's probably the best Carney of them all, but kind of went on, they were kind of going back and forth talking, the Dragongate system. And then, of course, they were saying, oh, there are rumors that a lot of the young talent want to leave, but are told you cannot leave. And there's someone that, might be on their way out. And then all of a sudden we noticed Dragon Dia is not on any cards past, late February. And then you kind of hear the rumors going of, I know you mentioned Dragon Dia possibly, entering, Best of the Super Juniors or Junior Tag League, as he was in the Best of Super Juniors. Has he been 2 years in a row now? Or 2 out of 3?
Something like, yeah, I think so.
So, great progression. I mean, he's a huge seller for Dragongate.
Yes.
Definitely a big portion of the audience
Kids
come
too.
to see Dragon Dia. I mean, the skateboard, come on. The haircut, straight sit, kid tablets, I should say. So, but then all of a sudden, like, you get a thing on the internet, and all these chats are coming around, and Dragon Gate purists are kind of firing off, which I'll let you get into here. And then it was like, yeah, Dragon Gate announces the departure of Dragon Dia, which is a huge blow, but apparently had to hire someone, which I guess they do in Japan. They hire someone to get them able to quit a job. Because apparently companies do not let them do that. They lose a big guy. The best of the Super Junior tournament is announced, and we do not see Dragon Dia's name on that list, which is interesting. But essentially, a lot of noise was kind of coming out of this over the last 4 to 6 weeks here, and Ryan shed a little bit more light on kind of what Magnum Tokyo and Shima were divulging as well on their little talk.
So Shima and Magnum Tokyo were doing like a press fan event when Shima was talking about going to work Dragongate one more time. Magnum Tokyo basically started shooting off in the front office that claiming Toru Kido, the CEO who was like the head of domestic operations or whatever. Essentially, when the old president of Dragongate retired, Shima initially had taken over as the president. There was disagreements, and then they essentially split the company in two. Shima's the president was the president. I think it was Dragongate Inc. Incorporated in charge of like the international expansion, like the OWE, which takes place in this. And then Toru Kido, who was the president of the Dragongate like company in charge of domestic affairs. Shima then took the Oriental Wrestling, whatever, the OWE crew and the Strongheart stable. So he just took all that and said, fuck this, and left Dragongate. So all that was supposed to be a part of Dragongate, the OWE and everything. So then that's when he got Shima and T-Hawk and Lindemann, and they started the Stronghearts thing. And then
kind of has like Triple H NXT vibes. In a way.
Yeah. So then Magnum Tokyo, he's talking to them, mistreating their talent and all this stuff. And then there's been allegations going on for a while. It's been known they've attempted to try to screw with talent wanting to leave. And the Keto Corp rumors started all the way back in 2018, like before Shingo left. There's not the full story hasn't fully been ever said, I don't think. And Magnum Tokyo's always got the bad attitude about it. But if anybody's,
what was his role in Dragon Gate?
He was a wrestler.
Okay, like was he a pretty big star during the heyday?
I think so.
The early years. Okay,
because if you think back in 1999,
I never heard of him until all this controversy started brewing a few weeks back.
If you go back to 1999 when Ultimo Dragon was doing a lot
Ultimate.
He was Ultimo finally at this point, but he was doing his work in WCW. He brought Shima, he brought Yasushi Kanda, he brought Magnum Tokyo. I think he brought Susumu, he brought Dragon Kid, but all these young, the first class of those Tormund guys, all were working like WCW Worldwide, and like I think Shima worked Kevin Nash on a Thunder and stuff like that. Like, so these guys, they were back when this thing started. So I mean, if there's anybody that knows, what bodies are in a closet, it's Magnum Tokyo and Shima.
Oh,
so then it's Dragongate turns around and they sued Magnum Tokyo and Shima for defamation. So all this is going on, and then meanwhile, everyone's starting to realize that Daya hasn't worked the show since February. He's now gone. Everyone's thinking, okay, well, he's going to be in the Super Juniors. Is Dragongate better pull, the rumored Hyo going in and you better stay away from New Japan at this point. Hyo's still working the tournament. So I have no idea what's going to happen with that.
So that's probably why Daya's not in it. I didn't even put that 2 and 2 together. I knew Yo was in it, obviously, but yeah, that makes perfect sense then because they didn't want probably any other conflict or Daya talking shit to, their talents or whatnot.
So my question for you is, there's a guy who we know is retiring in New Japan this year. He's a junior. Mm-hmm. He's been around for ages. Tiger Mask
Master
4.
Watto? Oh, Tiger Mask. Okay.
He's Tiger Mask 4 or whatever. I think he's the 4th one. We've now found out that Magnus in CMLL or AAA, I think one of the two. I could be wrong.
Is he the one?
He's adapting the Black Tiger gimmick. He's Black Tiger 5. Do you turn around and make Dragon Daya the new Tiger Mask and rebuild your junior division around him?
No, because I think you could do that with President Dragon Daya. I don't think you need another masked gimmick. I mean, I think he's a good-looking dude where, I think that'll bring a little bit more, because he's late 20s by now.
I think he's like 27 or something, maybe.
So, I mean, you could definitely bring a little bit more to the table.
Because you got to figure they love to pass these gimmicks around.
Yeah, but I like I said, I think the name itself. But who knows? Dragon Gate's always still, kind of on the bottom. Kind of in the Puro companies, it seems like. So maybe I think he's probably one of the bigger names that was in Dragon Gate, during his stretch. But no, I don't think they need to mess with that and turn him into an already solidified gimmick. Maybe that's for someone else who's not a name, or if they want to. I don't know. With Lucha and of course the Japanese masked wrestlers, the way they do stuff in a lineage, it's can go a multitude of different ways. Something I don't really understand as much, especially in Japan, where they're like, "Hey, you're going to be Tiger Mask 9," or "Hey, you're going to be this person or that person." So I don't know.
Here's
long
why.
Story short, no, he does not need the gimmick of.
So why? I guess here's where my other issue comes in. Is why are you going to have a guy in your company whose gimmick is based off the lineage of Dragon Gate? Because he's the second coming or the third coming of Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo Dragon, yeah.
So you're promoting another company in theory without him changing his name. Now, I know he has stated, I believe, that he's just going to be going in all capitals Daya. He's just going by Daya.
I was about to say, can he just go as Daya then and just take off the dragon?
Yeah, he's dropped the name Daya. But that's what makes me wonder, okay, if that's gone and your junior division sucks, like their junior division is the same shit over and over, and there's good people. I like Kosei Fujita. He's fine.
It's been like that for 15 years.
Correct.
Let's be real.
Well, I wouldn't even think.
10 years.
I lay it this way.
Hiromu and a Despy and a young Bone Soldier. Kind of that heyday of the junior division, but it was still the same shit. It's like, all right, we're rotating the same matchups. Oh, here's Kushida.
Well, even the last 5 years with Desperado winning like every single year except for the last one.
It's like the junior division, Doki, their junior division essentially was basically like All Japan's roster. Very thin. Had big names, people were always excited to see them. But overall, it was just like a dead end of, okay, who's going to get the belt or who's going to be on top, this time around.
So my thought is, the whole company had been like that for probably 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Tanahashi, through the last G1 and World Tag League, I think has really reformed and fixed the heavyweight division and the tag division. He's put in new stars like Callum Newman and Yota Tsuji to win. He's got the Knockout Brothers on top of the tag division. Uemura and Umino have tagged before, so like he's revamped all of these. I don't see why he doesn't revamp the junior division next, which is why I think of Daya as your new ace with company lineage is the only reason why I even thought they might do it. And will they, maybe they don't, probably. But I don't think if it happens...
Do you tell people that it's Daya then? Do you just say, hey, Daya is now going to be performing?
Yeah, because, you did that when Masawa took it over. You did... I just literally was just saying Magnus announced on social media he's the new Black Tiger. Like, this stuff gets definitely put out. And I may be way in left field, but I just want people to know that if it happens, like, don't be shocked. Because... Tanahashi's trying new shit, and I think it's a good thing, do they change his music, Alex, like they did Shingo?
Oh, they would have to, I would think.
So we don't get Dragon.
You can't have Dragon.
No, it's gone. Damn it.
Yeah, it's sad.
So Dragongate
to the Sounder as well. Oh man, they're in disarray. Again, I enjoyed the first quarter of the year of Dragongate. Like I said, kind of took mid-March till now off, but we'll check out Gates of Colosseum Dome or whatever they're calling this one. Golden Colosseum.
Sunday the 26th for that show.
Yes.
And real quick before we jump into the main topic, two topics at hand. I just wanted to go over last Sunday the Champions Carnival Night 1 started. About halfway through the first night. That's I just want to go over the participants quick and kind of pick your brain on where you think we're going to go with this. A block has Rei Saito, Kento Miyahara, Go Shiozaki, Yuma Anzai, Kuma Arashi, Kengo Mashimo, Talos, and Odyssey as those who are making their first tournament. And then we have Hideki Suzuki, Ren Ayabe, Jun Saito, Ryuki Honda, Daisuke Sekimoto, Madoka Kikuta, Zion, and then it was Cyrus who had been pulled from the tournament. But
the virus from ECW?
Maybe. Cyrus has a problem. Or no, that was Simon Diamond.
Yeah, Simon Diamond, yeah.
So I believe, who was the person that got inserted? It was the returning Yuma Aoyagi, that's right. He took Cyrus' spot. After his speeding ticket or whatever that in trouble he got with the law.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I forgot about that weird punishment system they have over there. But yeah, you could buy used panties in the vending machine.
I guess, big picture, I think it's awesome that we're going to get, Miyahara and Anzai will be in the tournament. We'll get the guaranteed match of that. We'll get another Miyahara Shiozaki match. The first night main event.
Talos, man.
First night main event was Go and Anzai, which I'm excited to watch. We now know why Yuma Anzai was gone. He was filming The Bachelorette in Japan, which is hilarious. Do they
again the charisma? I want to see it just to see if the charisma exudes out of him as it does in an All Japan ring. Much needed within that company. We talked about a thinner roster. It seems like, but the Up and Up, kind of the last show we watched. Probably beginning of the year. They've added some key pieces. Go Shiozaki being one of them. He's looking as rejuvenated as a broken down 44-year-old can, but he's having fun. Especially with Odyssey Jones and Ashino and whatnot. But it seems like they're kind of having fun. Miyahara, as you stated, we saw him in Shiozaki, him and Uma Anzai. Kind of that was before the end of 25, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because that was
a few days before.
It was New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's Eve. Okay,
because I wasn't gonna finish my match of the year ballot until I watched that match that night. Because I was like, last year or 2 years ago they did it on New Year's Eve, so I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta watch it first. And sure as shit, Anzai Miyahara was my match of the year last year.
But the big hitters are in the A block. But again, as you said in the B block, we have a Dragongate champion. Like, that could set up some big, cool stuff with, Kikuta.
Mm-hmm.
But am I being dumb and just going with my heart on my sleeve? If it's not Kikuta, is it Daisuke Sakamoto?
It feels like to me the B block is going to go between
Suzuki?
Ryuki Honda, Jun Saito, or Ren Ayabe. But at the same time, I really think there's a good chance that they have Kikuta go to the finals. Because you look at when Shingo and Marufuji were in the Carnival when they were part of other companies. They both had runs. I think Marufuji won the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't treat outside talent bad if they're over. They almost use it to their advantage. Like, hey, let's have Kikuta win
the car.
Yeah, exactly. If we have Kikuta win, we can have a Dragongate Open the Dreamgate champion versus Triple Crown champion title match, Mm-hmm. So it just looks better on paper, and then you get the win back. But I don't know, like, I feel like if you're All Japan, I think you put the backpack on Yuma Anzai again.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I think that's the answer.
Especially if you got the Bachelorette to promote, man.
And I think that's what I'm hoping for is we get a Madoka Kikuta Yuma Anzai final.
Oh my god.
I think that would be really good.
Even before that, though, man, just think Kikuta and Sakamoto.
Oh, man.
But what I'm looking forward to is Hideki Suzuki just no-selling with his face everything that Kikuta tries to do, and then try to hit him with his butt. So that's going to be... Yeah, B-Block's very interesting, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you have, like, 3 people. You're like, yeah, but I'm thinking, maybe 2 others. Yuma Aoyagi, he's been there before. So, one thing I am looking forward, though, is Goshiyazaki and Odyssey.
That'd be
going
fun.
at it there. I'm hoping Odyssey's been learning within, that faction there. But why no Ashino, man?
Yeah, I was confused about that, too, because every other member of Havoc is in there but Ashino.
Havoc.
And if you have 2 of them in A block with Shiozaki and Odyssey Havoc.
Yeah, I know, it's so weird.
You pulled Cyrus got pulled just before the start of it. I'm perfectly happy with Yuma Aoyagi in it because he's fucking an incredible wrestler. But you could have put Shotaro Ashino right there too.
Looks good in the suit, man.
So I just want to. We'll get more into the carnival as it progresses through, but I just wanted to bring that up and kind of just hit those real quick. But
this is a more exciting carnival card than I've seen probably since the Shingo one like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was like 2020 or 2019 or whatever.
Yeah. So good looking All Japan. So that should be some fun stuff. Again, Miyahara, it's just banger after banger. Him and Talos, let's fucking go.
Mm-hmm. And they had a fun little Triple Crown match. Like, it wasn't. Yeah. It's not anything that's like you're not going to.
But Talos is going to improve. He's going to learn from that, and they're going to do something new. So that's why I'm like, oh man, the growth. Hopefully that he amasses. Speaking of Talos in this A block. It should be fun. Mm-hmm. You might have won me over here, Ryan. Well done.
But I think first order of business I want to get to is since the last time we talked, we had talked about Revolution was a big topic, but the New Japan Cup was happening. Yep. I did a quick just blurb before it had fully started. It ended actually the day we recorded. So, I don't think the day before we recorded, it was the finals, to which Callum Newman won. But we had Sakura Genesis, and Tanahashi, once again, it's kind of like I mentioned earlier about the trying the new things. Cal Newman, 23 years old, is your new IWGP heavyweight champion.
23 years old.
And ever since he turned heel at the end of last year, like he just feels different. He feels like everything clicks. And they got the Sakura Genesis show. They get Will Ospreay to work it, who now is going to do both companies for the rest of the year. Which I think, hint, hint, wink, wink. I think we're gonna get Newman Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom. Sign me up. They are just hitting, man. Like, between Newman Suji, that Takeshi to Umino match was great. Knockout Bros against Oiwa and Zack Sabre was incredible. Yuto Ice had
getting a win.
A hell of a performance. Even Aaron Wolf looked good again against the House of Torture Dorks.
And don't forget of returning Will Ospreay in Japan.
Like I was saying,
So I mean, and Hanari and Okan looking good, but just the suits, the Reservoir Dogs of it all, made them look just fantastic. I didn't watch the Never Openweight match just because I assumed the heroes would win, which I believe they did. Go Bishamon, but
I have bars, pins, Yujiro after Botch Fest. So that's the finish you missed.
But New Japan, kind of since, pretty damn good Wrestle Kingdom, again, has been doing really awesome stuff. Callum Newman, again, they realize the future. And hopefully they don't make the same mistake like last year where they should have pushed Gabe Kidd to the moon instead of worrying about him going to New Japan or to AEW. And so they didn't want to reward him for everything that he put his body through. And got over, with the Japanese crowd. And I think they learned from their mistakes and are showing that with Newman. I kind of, when it all happened, I kind of posed the question too. I was like, okay, do you have to do Ospreay going for the AEW title at Wembley? Do you do it now? Do you have the IWGP title at Wembley at All In? For Ospreay to kind of face Callum Newman there. I think it's too soon. I think Wrestle Kingdom, again, can you have two white boys main event the Dome? Has that ever happened before? Because I think that could be something that can be built tremendously for the rest of the year. I don't know if they'll sell. Obviously, they're not going to sell, what they did in 26 for Tanahashi's final match. But, I mean, it's something as, can they do 30,000, kind of with that match? I think they can get close. I think they have to have a way stronger undercard to kind of go that way, to have two Gaijin in the main event there January 4th. But, man, the story that can be fucking told. Like, I was just like, hey, give me everything. Give me the build. Before they did the Canadian Chaos match in AEW TV, which we'll talk about here in a bit, I was like, oh my God, is he going to turn on him at Double or Nothing if they had another Anarchy in the arena with the Death Riders and whatnot? So I like your way of them stretching it out. But again, if AEW goes in a different route, I don't think it's such a bad idea to fucking do an IWGP Heavyweight Championship match with Ospreay and Newman there if they decide to go somewhere, especially with the route that they just went last night.
If you look at Wrestle Dynasty, while it's not a true Wrestle Kingdom, the top two matches were all Gaijin, essentially. I mean, it was Omega, Gabe Kidd, and Zack Sabre Ricochet. And I mean, Zack Sabre Ricochet obviously is the main event. It only drew, I think, I shouldn't say only, it drew over like 16,000, but I just say, I think you can, and I think the company is invested, not even because of where these people reside from per se, like they normally might, especially with like the Takeshita thing. I think a lot of New Japan fans are just excited that something's happening. You know what I mean? Like new things are finally happening. We're getting a new. It's a new. It's not the same conveyor belt we've seen since COVID. It's not Sonata and Evil and Naito on the top all the time. Like,
I mean, if you think about it, the Knockout Brothers are the bizarre version of what Sonata and Evil were. You had this kind of big dude, just talking shit on the mic all the time. You got this big, tall guy, being all quiet. Except Ice is just way more crazier than evil, so a little bit more passion, you could even say, during the heyday. But the parallels between those guys, even though they are opposite, especially in their ring work, Knockout Bros, 9 times out of 10, just kind of overall performance wise outwork, what Sonata and Evil could do. And they were a fantastic tandem, coming out of LIJ. But I think what again helps the Knockout Brothers, not only the trust that Orochi Tanahashi has, I don't think Gato's behind them as much, even though I'm sure Gato thinks he's living out his youth with Yudo Ice. I think Tanahashi's behind him because he knows what's hip, what's cool. I mean, look at his fresh ass haircut since the fourth. But everybody just wants to get high, and Ice just the passion and the as I've been saying, since that impassioned speech back at the night after Kingdom,
the Dash.
Yeah, Dash, where, he planted this flag and says, "We're New Japan, bitch. Let's all get high." They've been doing some, they've improved, mainly Oscar. In this match, not only the selling of his knee throughout was probably the best I've seen that he's done, but it was goddamn believable. But the strikes were hitting. They were, connecting in ways I haven't seen Oscar do it. Same thing with Yudo Ice. He's a rough and tumbling, type of wrestler. He's a brawler, if you will. They're both not sharp when it comes to in-ring mechanics, but you can definitely see the kind of just the impressions that they're getting and the progression, of course, that they're doing. And with Osprey, or not Osprey, with Zack Sabre Jr., that they, were facing off against, it was a conflict of styles, and they were utilizing the submissions and wearing them down, chopping down the, mighty oak that Oscar was. And Oiwa, kind of utilizing his athleticism against a guy that, doesn't like to, run the ropes as much. So this was just a fantastic tag team. And if the Knockout Brothers are not your tag team of the year, again, every match, wrestling-wise, isn't the best. But what they do overall in the storyline mechanics and the match itself and the post-match, bar none, some of the best shit. And even the post-match on this, when the Knockout Brothers retain, you have two teams coming down, with Bishamon saying, "Hey, bitch, I want that title." And then it's like, "Oh, here's Great Okan and Hanari, no, we want that title." And then, Honda from Street Fighter comes out, with the dude from Lord of the Rings, and they're like, you know what? Let's just fight each other. And what I love about what New Japan's been doing this year, that two fucking number one contenders for the, New Japan Tag Team Championships. That's pretty fucking cool. That's some westernized shit. They rarely would do number one contender matches since I've started watching New Japan. Rare fucking basis. But they have hit it out of the park, kind of with the storytelling that they have been doing. They're reigniting. Tanahashi is reigniting the importance of the overall craft of professional wrestling and just utilizing outside of the box characters as they're doing, as a Callum Newman winning, beating, a Carmen Sandiego cosplayer who's doing a hell of a fucking job, kind of detailing his matches, saying, "Hey, yeah, I started as a young lion. I grew. I was in LIJ, one of, if not the most successful faction in the history of that company. Broke out of that, finally gained the respect of the fans, have two championships, one, the big one in the fucking Tokyo Dome, reinvigorated and brought back the lineage of it all." And then he's like, "You know what? Let's keep this going. I got another belt." And Callum Newman put on a fucking great performance. And buckle up, man. It's only the first quarter of the year. And I just think the summer is going to be great. And oh, yeah, we're going to the fucking night one of the G1 in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, they're on the right track. And Tanahashi is treating this the right way. He's literally going, "Hey, look, this is my job, is to fix this and to make this company great. Let's make this company what it should be again. And I believe it. I'm confident in Tanahashi. I'm confident in this product again. And, you know, we're on the up and up. We got, you know, Duntaku next month, I believe. And then we got the Super Junior. And then it's almost G1 time again.
Yeah. 3 months. We'll be in Chicago. But going back to United Empire, once Ospreay left, it was just a hodgepodge of fucking dudes. Mm-hmm. Callum Newman, like you said, kind of is turning heelish. He's getting bigger, coming off that injury. And you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, bruv, this is my shit now. And so it's kind of like they are doing a Death Riders-esque type storyline where Ospreay's the good guy, but they're kind of like a heelish group. But they're boys, where Mox was doing that teetering of, hey, I'm a face, until he faced an Ospreay, you know, as we'll get to here in a bit, while he was in a heel faction. So the parallels are great, and that's what I think makes it like a Shield, Wyatt family type of thing. But United Empire was just like, here's this guy, here's TJP, here's 7 other guys. With Ospreay coming back, it just made sense, and it made him feel whole again, I think.
Look at the end of Sakura Genesis when they were whooping their ass, and Ospreay's telling them to stop beating them up after the match.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, stop. We don't need to be doing this after. And they're like, all right, fine.
Again, planting those seeds for the eventual turn that will happen.
And let's not forget when Ospreay's cutting that promo on Dash, and Callum Newman just grabs the folding chair and he's like, fuck this. Yeah. You know, like, so it's, I don't know. I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go. I would say that's what I hope is the main event of Wrestle Kingdom, is Newman getting put over by Ospreay. But at the same time, is Tanahashi going to go back to the G1 winner getting the shot at the Dome and not at King of Pro Wrestling like that done the last 2 years? That's where I'm wondering how that goes.
Do you think because it's a 5-month wait, or I guess more like 4 months, 4.5 month wait?
Which it was never a problem before. I don't know why it's become a problem now. I understand why you
logistics and the wrestlers wrestling at their home countries, essentially. It seemed like, I want to win this belt, just to kind of get, the end of the year off.
It made sense for Zack Sabre. Like, I get that aspect.
Yeah.
So where I'm torn is I want the G1 winner to go to Wrestle Kingdom because I want them to build it and make you give a damn. I liked it sometimes where the title changed hands and not necessarily the briefcase, or the winner, like when Jay White randomly won the titles, like, whoa, shit, we didn't see that coming. Or AJ, I think, AJ Styles won it, I think, for a couple months at one point. But so you're not going to have Will Ospreay win the G1.
Why not?
Because it's fine. Like, okay, so hold on. What you're not against? Damn, that's tough.
Because the thing is, you don't have to do the fucking turn then. You could just play it out like, hey, bruv, I just won the G1. I got to go handle some shit. I got to go to Wembley. And I'll see you January 4th. That's all you got to fucking do.
Does that hurt your growth of what you're trying to accomplish over the last 2 years? That's my only concern with that.
Well, who else are they going to grow? What else are they going to do then? You're going to do a rematch with Tsuji? Who's going to be in this G1? Are you going to have finally fucking Kento Miyahara as we're going to get him in Chicago?
Don't get me bricked up on
He's there night one. Him and Omega and Ospreay, we're going to see in Chicago.
If he's there night one, I don't want you to know what I might do.
We're seeing Ospreay versus Kento Miyahara.
I might have a heart attack.
And that's the co-main event. So,
do you fucking rock it up Yuya Uemura and give him a run? Give him a chance?
It seems like we've done that. We've tried.
Have we though?
He's an Intercontinental Champion at best.
But let me ask you a different way. Have they really tried it? But hold on. Have they really tried it? Because
injuries always happen to be in his way. Like something always backtracked you.
I think it was just Gato. Because They tried Yota Tsuji
against good-looking men.
Well, no, they tried Yota Tsuji and they said it didn't work, and then they stopped doing it. Then Tanahashi took over and said, "No, we're going to do it again and do it right," and it worked. He took Shota Umino, and he basically I don't want to say fixed him, but if you look at the last 12 to 18 months of Umino, it's a different Umino. So
I would say the last 6 months, 7. But him as a tag wrestler with Nomura has been the best
love
thing
that.
for it. I think it's reinvigorated. But the TV match with Takeshita, again, it goes to a draw, but it's perfect because it's short increments. We didn't need 25, 35 minute fucking Shota Umino matches. 15, 20 minutes. Fucking perfect because it ignites the fire. It shows what he can do. Then when he loses, he's like, I'm gonna get you next time. Like it's just fucking perfect.
So why not take a chance on seeing what you have with Umino? If it doesn't work, just have him lose. Because that's the only reason why I'm like, do you have the match? Okay, so that turns me to this. Does Umino win? He wrestles for the title at King of Pro Wrestling like they've done the last 2 years. Callum Newman beats him, and then now between October and January, you build the Newman and Ospreay. You get both that way.
But then, so does Ospreay not win the AEW title in England?
He could still win it. I think he's still winning the title.
So you're going to do champion versus champion at the Dome is what you're going to do.
Potentially.
Or you do Dynasty.
I mean, he could win at Wembley. It doesn't mean he's going to hold the title till January.
I would hope so. All that for fucking 3 months?
Yeah, I mean,
for 3 months?
And at the same, and I don't think they would. I think he was going to have a very lengthy reign. I think he's the new future ace of the company to go with MJF at the top. But I don't think anybody would have an issue with Newman beating him.
Beating Ospreay? No, I don't think you would, because again, you're putting out the right now of New Japan. It depends on too if he's selling houses, so it should be interesting, kind of what's coming up here. But also with Newman, because I think you keep the title on him until the 4th. I mean, you just let that guy just roughshod everyone. You wouldn't even have to do championship matches each show either. Like that's the thing. I don't think you need to, but. I think with Newman and Ospreay too, Ospreay's then helping AEW's future, by gaining a Callum Newman at like 25 years old or whenever the fuck his contract is up. So, I mean, it's an investment either way. I mean, just think of Newman and Fletcher at fucking Revolution 2028.
And and I think that's where the one advantage comes into play is I don't think they're full on to take this title off. I mean, like Shingo's not gonna beat him. I think it's gonna fucking rule.
I love how he's just always the first fucking challenge. He's like, I'm married not to boy. We're gonna start a family. Just give me a title shot.
And what a perfect guy is. All right, let's see how much. All right, we made our new champion. Let's see if he can go. Okay, what's my test? What do you need to see? Hey, Shingo, come here a second. Shingo, I want you and him 25 minutes. Make sure he's ready. You know what I'm saying? So like that's cool. And there's some interesting thing coming out of these cards. Like I'm intrigued by this. Night 1 of Dontaku gave kids out of the Yota Tsuji match. So who knows what's gonna happen for that one?
No. Jake Lee.
Oh fuck! He was just on a talk show as a jester, and he was
so he's still doing the makeup.
Oh my! I'll show you the video after the show.
He's living the gimmick.
It's awful. He was like in a full suit. He was like making like bells and whistle noises. Oh my god! I was so mad when I saw it. But we get Fale Aaron Wolf in a rematch. Hopefully Wolf wins it.
So my question to you before you continue the Dontaku is, do you build Aaron Wolf? He gets out of the House of Torture, quicksand. He starts going in the middle of the card. Maybe he faces Bolton Oleg, kind of for the Never title, regains that back. Do you then, if he starts to get hotter and performs a little bit better and gains that momentum again that the House of Torture killed, do you build to an Aaron Wolf Callum Newman Dome match?
I mean, I think that's a dream for them. Like, if you
Because you go from co-main event or whatever the third match of the card this year to the main event.
Well, I think if you ironically are building a big board, like you got a giant whiteboard and you have your end game at the top of it, I think you want Wolf to be up there in that picture for sure. You put the investment in him. It seems like he's probably going to win this match. I'm assuming Narita isn't going to lose the never titled Bolton Oleg because they're rematching for the title. So I'm guessing.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Narita won. Yeah, that's right.
He beat Wolf. Yeah.
He beat Wolf. Yeah.
But
he's a triple champ.
Like at the same time, like House of Torture now. If you remember Chase Stevens from the Hot Shots back in TNA in like 2003.
Not at all. Not at all.
He's in the House of Torture now, tagging with Yujiro against Takeshita and Shota Umino, who are tagging.
That's a deep pull. Holy shit.
Which I'm surprised we're going to get Takeshita Umino tagging.
Did you say Takeshita Umino? So they bonded over their TV match, huh?
So maybe they go
beautiful.
somewhere with that.
It.
I mean, they're turning him babyface in AEW, I think, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It also intrigues me because we get a never open weight 6-man match where Goto, Yohashi, and Bolton Oleg, they're defending him against Hanari, Okan, and Ospreay because Ospreay's working Duntaku.
Yeah.
Chase Owens is getting the TV shot. And then Ichiban Sweet Boys, Eagles and Fujita against Desperado and Mystico.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. So, like, again, Tanahashi's doing something new. He's doing different shit.
Yeah.
And I think this is the right answer. Like, keep doing it. Look, if you want to bring in a you need to fill in for Gabe Kidd. There you go. Bring in Kento Miyahara. Yoda Tsuji Kento Miyahara.
Yeah, but Miyahara will make him look foolish. You would have to do twin magic to beat How does Aaron Wolf beat Fale?
I hope he just judo throws him.
Cup. Is he gonna squash him like we saw last night?
I hope Aaron Wolf wins in like 2.5 minutes.
Fuck yes.
And then you're heating him up to go into the G1. And you can have Aaron Wolf go 2-7 with 4 points in the G1. Nobody's gonna care because the young guys always do that. But what I can tell you they should do is he needs to beat a major name in Chicago. He needs to come to Chicago and he needs to beat like Shota Umino or something. Takeshita. Something.
I love how you loved him as a big name. Shota Umino.
I mean, in theory, I would call him an upper. I'm fine with that too. I'm totally fine with that. But I think you need to tell this American audience with the turn that we're seeing with, as you mentioned, the Reservoir Dogs thing where the United Empires and AEW, for that short shot. You're continuing to expand and work even more with AEW. You have Forbidden Door that'll have already happened that people will be excited for. I think you have Aaron Wolf get a big win in Chicago. I really do. If he's in the G1.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he would have to be. I mean, 32. Isn't it 32 people?
No, it's 20.
Oh, Jesus. Didn't it used to be 32?
New Japan Cup might have been.
Oh, Jesus.
But G1 has always been 10 people in each block.
Oh.
So I don't know. I'm really intrigued. There's a lot coming up here.
Jeez, I feel bad for Tatsuya Matsumoto then, taking that L against Aaron Wolf in the G1. What's going to be tight about that never 6-man is fucking Oleg Bolton and Will Ospreay, especially with how Bolton's been wrestling lately. And I apologize, he's the strong champion, so I got that mixed.
Well, he had the never title though. I mean,
that's true. That's true.
He's the one who I think lost
6-man.
I think he's the one that Evil beat. So, I mean, it's recent that he had it. I mean, I totally... And that's a title where, it's like if I were to ask you, who's the WWE Women's Tag Champs? I'd go, I don't fucking know. Charlotte and Alexa? I don't know. Yeah, so the never title, whatever. You know what I mean?
But what's even crazier is in that match is the Chaos connection of Goto, Hashi, and Ospreay. I hope they embrace it before the match. I didn't even know Ospreay was coming out for this on the 4th. So then he's gonna be at fucking Dynamite in 2 days. Like that's wild.
And then, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. The week before it is that Red Zone in Hiroshima. And we're getting Ishimori and Robbie X against Eagles Fujita for the juniors. And then Oscar Yuto Ice against either Bishamon or United Empire for the tag.
Yes.
So that's the only thing announced for those. But, I mean, they got some good shit that obviously, last New Japan thing I really have is tonight at 10 o'clock, man. We get Despy, Jun Kasai, Masashi Takeda, Rita Yamashita, Nick Gage, and Matt Tremont in a 3-way tag team death match. Invitation only, Love and Pieces at Journey's End, it's called. And we get El Phantasmo and Maki Ito against Dragon Kid and Starlight Kid. Which is, it's called
Oh, yeah, that's right. Starlight's in a death match. I was surprised by that.
It's Deadly Airtime and Cutie Crime High Stakes Heartbreak Jackpot match.
Wow.
Also, I don't know if this is going to full happen here. 3-way Runaway Russian Crash, A-Drop, Dead Gorgeous. It's Mason Mansoor, the MXM collection. Kushida's tagging with Yamato.
Ooh.
And then the third team is Jordan Price and Alec Price and Jordan Oliver, to which, for those of you who were watching last night, Alec Price, when he came out, the stairs fell off the ramp and he ripped the shit out of his leg. It looked like Ospreay's back when he took that. Remember when he took that, when Fletcher gave him the brainbuster on the turnbuckle and he had that giant red rip on his back, like rug burn type thing? The stairs.
Yes.
So the stairs fell, and Alec Price fell onto the stage, and his whole leg. Like when Oliver and Price were supposed to wrestle on the midnight show, it was Flying Ryan O'Neal with Jordan Oliver, and Alec Price didn't even work the show. So I hope he's not too hurt. Then we get a hardcore match tonight: Joey Janela and Gringo Loco against Daisuke Sasaki and Gato.
Remember we saw Daisuke Sasaki in St. Paul?
Do you remember when I'm like, oh my God? And then I went, oh shit, it's not him. I feel like an idiot. Then I went, wait, it's really him.
It was some jobber. And I was like, Daisuke Sasaki. I was like, holy shit.
And then, this is weird too. The opener is cute, ? Sexy, ? Hardcore. It's Effie, Jimmy Lloyd, and Ishin in a 3-way.
Huh.
Way random.
Submission.
Yeah, this show's going to be fun tonight. But I tell you what, man, Tanahashi, I know we've said this, the last probably 3 shows, man, but it feels good that this company has some sort of identity and direction again.
Agreed. No, it's and the Ace is the reason why he's taking it seriously. He has a New Japan radio show, that kind of goes out there, which he's letting talent be, who they are. Like I think it's smart, especially him coming off such a storied career, knowing that just imagine the pressure that he had to have. That you're the guy that has to save this prestigious company from going out of business, not once, not twice, but thrice. And then build the next guy, to kind of do it, and the next guy. Now he's in charge of that, and he knows what it takes. So I think they're going to be in good hands, kind of going out. And now it's just building up your young lions, kind of going back to the basics, but also adapting to kind of the modern times of wrestling. Take that, Toro Okada.
And I think from there we got to go to kind of what you were alluding to earlier. AEW had their pay-per-view on Sunday. We a lot of these names we had talked about. There's a lot of build going up into Wembley. I think we saw a lot of interesting things happen. I think I'm in agreement with you. We don't need to go over everything with it, but I think after I rewatched last night's Dynamite a second time.
You hated it.
God, was that perfect television, man.
It was one of the best shows of wrestling before the last week's show, but this was honestly the pitch perfect of all just wrestling television. It told stories from the very first second to literally the last second and had all the emotional feels. Like I said, man, I get the importance of one Steve Borden, but when old man Gray Sting just walks out and he had the fucking face paint on.
Oh, man, Sting!
I was tearing up, man. I was like, oh my god. But we'll all get to that here in a second.
Between the and even
Even the Osprey Omega interaction, that was fucking perfection. So now is it setting up those two at Wembley?
I
Is one
think
of them going to win the title before?
I think they're going to be I think they're the Wembley match, and I think it's Kenny going in as champion. Because they literally told you what was going to happen, and it's easy.
He's going to be like, you gave me the reassurance. He wins. Is it? We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, is he going to be like, hey, let's go, Will? You gave me it. Let's see if you got it in your home country.
I think
because he didn't have it in Canada, his home country. Tony Khan said, "Bleep you, Canadians."
And if you're really establishing Will as your guy, that guy now, there's no more. There's almost nobody more perfect to put the title on him than him dethroning Kenny, who's kind of been the guy. I mean, I thought MJF was the easy answer because if you look at, with obviously before the title change last night, there's been 9 different people that have been AEW World Champion. Aside from Swerve, because they've never had a one-on-one match, MJF has beaten every single champion in a one-on-one match that has had it other than him. Wow. Which, so to me, that makes him the gatekeeper, the guy. But then, like you said, that Kenny promo on the doctor's table with Will was perfect. I mean, this whole show was perfect. When you get it
made me rethink kind of like everything of what they're gonna do, leading up to Wembley, where I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, and then that's good. It's kind of better what's going on the other shows, but. Yeah, I was like, I need to start watching Collision more.
You get, MJF shows up and he's cutting this great promo, yada yada yada.
Well, let's get to the pay per view first.
Perfect. Yeah, because I'm going crazy.
So, well, first things first, man. I literally watched every fucking match live.
Why am I clapping when I can actually do the real one? Hold the fucking phone. I forgot about this. Hell yeah.
I watched the pre-show. I loved the Evolution pre-show, their version of it. Just woman after woman after woman, and then Mark Davis just beaten up.
Yeah, Mark Davis rules.
A beautiful man. But this show was a fucking... This was a perfect wrestling show. It's not like we're like, Revolution 2025 or Double or Nothing are perfect shows. They had like great matches. And how like last year, I forgot which one that it had. It was the St. Louis show, I want to say last year. I just remember it was an AEW show. Like it
might have been Dynasty, actually, to be honest.
But and I was just like, I was there. Like it was cool. But like every fucking match told a story, which then started to create either a new story or a chapter continuation within that match. And I appreciated the shit out of kind of just everything just seemed more tightened. Mm-hmm. I wasn't annoyed by the runtime, how I usually bitch about it, because every fucking match was enjoyable. Everybody went out to play. And honestly, dude, the pre-matches were really good. Shout out to Big Ann. Big Ann! By the way. Camille coming back was dope. She's like in a backstage video. I'm like, who is that? And I was like, oh shit, it's Camille. And then Big Ann's in the ring. She's like, I'm gonna go kick someone's ass. I was like, I haven't seen you in like a year and a half, almost 2 years. And Alex Windsor and Marina Shafir just literally kick it off. I'm becoming an Alex Windsor fan. I love.
She's good.
I started to enjoy her as a tag team. I was a little leery because I'm like, the connections. But she is growing on me, and her fucking mic work against Tekla last night. I was like, oh, she's good. I was like, I misjudged her right off the bat, and I could see. She was nervous when she kind of came into the company. You're showing yourself to a whole new audience, a whole new country of eyes. That had no idea who the fuck you were except Will Ospreay's girlfriend that he's talked about, in promos for the last 2 years. And you're just like, man. But like even fucking the tag match with, I don't want to say greener than green, but kind of like on the up and up with Megan Bay and Alina Cross, who I think they're better than the Tantrum of Terror, whatever bullshit SmackDown has with
Tantrum of Terror.
B-Fab and All My Hole or whatever, the tag champs.
The Tantrum of Terror.
I mean, it's essentially the same team, but
We fish is still wearing your t-shirts.
Hell yeah, the Tantrum of what? Fuck that company. God. The worst. Keep going. I'm gonna find you the worst one because I never can remember it, but it's the worst one ever.
But a high end and Bioware. I mean, this show is like literally like when I say classic, I mean you can pop on the fucking pre-show on Max and you can watch 5.5 hours of wrestling and feel like that was time well fucking spent. And that's how I felt. And we were at All In Texas, and after a while, after like hour 6, I was like, there's a lot of fucking wrestling, man. And we still got Okada Omega. It's like, holy shit. But banger after banger. My low-key MVP of this whole night, Ryan, was sorry, I can't say the first name, was Jericho.
He was fan.
Him and Ricochet, to come off a tag team banger like that, I remember jokingly saying when the show started, I was like, it'd be funny if the Jericho match is on second, referencing him and Owens with it being, Mania week and whatnot. And they were, and they fucking delivered. Mm-hmm. And they had to follow Bucks, Okada, and Takeshita.
It was so good, too.
Jericho just was on point. On point. Ricochet just playing the heel bald and just like going after it bald. And, of course you had to have the shenanigans bald, but Ricochet, man. Again, after the scissors gimmick ended, he's just, and I will say, I know you've been a Gates and Agony fan. There are heights. It's essentially if we were Jack Samoan dudes, we would be them. And that was the second match. Oh my God! Like, no match was bad. Daniel Garcia was in a match that was enjoyable because it was a fucking gauntlet for the TNT Championship. And oh yeah, we have a fucking rocket pack to Kevin Knight now. You go from tag champs or growing a big tag fandom with Speedball Mike Bailey, and then your trios champs, and you lose that shit. And then you're going to win the TNT Championship because it had to be, unfortunately, vacated. Get well soon, Kyle Fletcher. You are the best.
Yeah.
They fucking said, fuck you. They said, fuck you, Canada. We're going to go Vince McMahon on your ass. We're going to have all the Canadians lose tonight. And it was fucking great. This show was just great. It's so good.
It's so nice when a company isn't afraid to just go, look, you're losing tonight. Sorry. That's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, Andrade loses via clean roll-up. Ricochet wins with a fucking lion salt over Jericho when damn well, every other company would have had Jericho win. Mm-hmm. I'll say this about the tag thing. Normally, I always complain about the tag shenanigan bullshit, the strange bedfellows, if you will. But I only half hated this one. I enjoyed the concept of the finish with the Takeshita. I just wish it wouldn't have been so overdrawn. Like, he should have went and started I would have been happy if he would have just started walking up to him, and then as Matt looks at him, he just goes, "Nah, I'm good," and just walks away. Instead of grabbing the foot and then looking at the foot and looking at Okada, then looking at the foot, then looking at Matt, then looking at the foot, and then slowly moving. It's like that to me is. You don't even know that shit.
That was a metaphor. That was a metaphor for Takeshita saying, I see you, audience. You've been waiting for this for a fucking year.
Yeah.
And we're finally going to do it. I see you. I'm going to prolong it a little bit more. We will see you at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, and look, and it's probably a me thing, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what.
They put on we got Okada Jackson.
So when they just started forearming the shit out of each other, I was like, okay, this is tight. Like, they just went to a forearm exchange. And then in the middle of it, they stop and start working as a team again to whip their ass. I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I can get behind this. Like, that's okay with me. And that match was great. The Bucks get the win. I'm assuming we're going to get TLC at Double or Nothing.
Do we really want to see
Probably
dudes
not.
over 40 and 50s.
Listen.
Plunder match?
Do
we really want to see this?
I'm going to say the same thing. Hell no, we don't. But Edge is not disappointed in these pay-per-view matches.
Yeah, he's breaking his fucking shins. So is Okada the best? Is he the best? I thought this match was excellent. I thought the tag match.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Oh, of course. How can it fail? I get what you're saying, a little drawn out, but Takeshita should have deserved that. He earned that fucking. You know what?
Once again, it's a me problem.
When he was like, when he looked at it, he's like, you know what? Fuck you. Just walked away. I'm like, yes, let's do this. We're finally gonna conclude this bullshit soap opera that has been prolonged. But I think again, that's the company saying, we see you, we hear you bitching, but we're gonna fuck with you a little bit longer, and we're gonna just do it, and the end result's gonna be worth it.
And Don Callis is so good.
Yeah,
because
he's the Heyman.
He continues to say there's no problems, we're still all friends, and he keeps trying to make it work even though he knows it's not working. Yeah. Like, he gets it, but he won't. It's okay, we'll figure it out. Like, he's so damn good. And once again, I'm going to say this as I always do. I don't know why people are so against the Don Callis family. They're so good.
Ooh, are they stupid? Do they not know wrestling, or...
It's the same. It's the same thing 6 months ago. You had said a couple times, like, "What are they going to put another person in the Callis family?" Yeah, good. Put him in the fucking Callis family.
Yeah.
It's working. They're proving it. They're proving it right with the way what they're doing with Mark Davis, what they did with Josh Alexander for a minute. Lance Archer looks good on TV. They're making El Clone relevant without the entire reason he was created.
Yeah,
he was made for one guy, and they figured out how to keep him on TV. And now, if you notice this, when he was in that match and he ripped the mask off,
it's different.
He had a black Mystico mask.
Yep.
Because he's a clone of anybody. So they changed the whole concept. It was it's so perfect. And then last night, Hechicero's working Will Ospreay. It's great. It gives people something to do, and the company is smart enough to keep them relevant. So that just adds a whole nother layer of dynamic. Like the promo when he's like, Takeshita, what the hell? And he's, I'm so sorry, and he walks away from it, and they're like, what are you gonna do? He's like, it's fine, we're fine. Come on, let's go. We'll figure this out. And he's so mad, but he won't quit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I need you to put it together. Fine, you guys, I don't care. You can wrestle at Double or Nothing. Deal. But right now, you guys got to figure this out. Like, he's at wit's end, just letting them fight each other. But he needs to get rid of the Bucks. Yeah, it's perfect. Everything was perfect about everything what they're doing with this match, the angle, and just like that, you set up these guys for Double or Nothing. You have set up the tag titles with FTR clean, not clean, but clean winning. Where I guarantee you, any other company, just like I had said with the Jericho winning, would have had Edge figure out a way to beat both baby faces. Oh. And if you notice, they've only done that once, and that was Sting.
Motherfucker got hit. That dude got hit the hard way. So he was not winning any match.
The only babyface that overcame two heels like that was Sting, and they're leaving that alone, and it's perfect. Sting did it, but Edge can't. Great, that's how it should be. So like you said, they're just everything's. Darby and Andrade was so good the way they did that. Because Andrade gets, he loses with a roll-up. You get to Dynamite. MJF's cutting the promo. And then, and he's like, thanks to your guy Andrade. And he's like, sorry, there was a little hiccup. It is what it is. He's like, what do you mean hiccup? Oh, he didn't win. What do you mean it didn't win? He's like, you owe me one. Your boy messed up. That's why. And, now you've established I guess, Alex, where I'm going at the end of the day is everybody in this company.
Andrade's a tweener at the moment because of that.
And everybody in this company continues to make you have to remember everything that happens because everything's intertwined. Tommaso Ciampa, hey man, I don't care who the champion is coming up here. I want that damn belt. Now he's getting, and even if he doesn't get a shot,
clamoring for the belt. Kevin 2 belts for God's sakes.
It's so good because why shouldn't everybody want to be the world champion? They make that known.
When you have 9 other undercard or mid-card. Everyone, but everyone, wants the main title there. I still don't know which one Okada has, but with the Don Callis family, like you said, when everyone was questioning it, I think what turned the tide for me and what made it work is when they finally got in on the joke on television. When they're like, we're going to add number 14 and 16 and 19, and it just works. But I think even with the injuries, like the big brutes, like it's like the fucking it's like the Heenan family mixed with the Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah, because if you remember back in the days, whenever a new heel would come out, it was always which manager is going to get his service. And that's how it should be. You should be acquiring talent to try to bolster your brand. Like, it's the smartest thing in the world, and they do it.
Is Okada the best? Because he's had, 4 or 5, I would say at least a minimum of 5 opening matches of a pay-per-view since he's been with All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah.
Is he the best opening match wrestler in this company, or is it Pac? And they wrestled each other once at a pay-per-view at the first match. I think that was Okada's one of his first pay-per-view matches, but
and it was good.
Between those two, goddamn, they just know how. And it's crazy because Okada had all that pressure of main eventing shows for years on end. And then now for him to be the reverse of that, to be the quote unquote curtain jerker of it all, it's kind of surreal, but to know the evolution of Okada and to kind of see him where he's at now, I think he's doing some of the best work he's done in probably 4 years, probably since the 22 G1, kind of years. Like, I'm fucking back. Like, there's no balloons, type of Okada. So yeah, I that's all I wanted to say on that. I just think,
and I think
we're gonna get a great fucking match, and we already saw them with the last tournament they had, but the Continental Classic. But
I think Okada's figured out a good balance of now. I think he was struggling to figure out the difference between when I'm allowed to just have a good match and just kind of have a match, and when I need to turn it on, because in New Japan he always had to turn it on. Yeah. So when he didn't have, when they're like, hey man, you're having a short match tonight. I think a lot of people thought that he just couldn't go, including myself. And I think he's definitely got rid of that farce, like we've talked about. He's figured out a healthy balance of when he needs to turn it on.
He's
and when
figured
he
out a character. That's the important thing, because in Puro you can have a character, but it's so fucking limited. It's like within a 10-minute window where now you have weeks. You're doing it weekly almost, to kind of showcase and build who your character is. You don't get that in Japan, really. I mean, I don't know how their media structure works, or, when they're not doing shows, or I know they have press conferences and whatnot, but you can't really showcase a character besides who you are in the ring. And your 2 to 4 minute, post-match speech, if you're lucky to close the show.
And I think it really helps too for a lot of these. I mean, like you mentioned with Ricochet at first, it was a little rocky. They weren't sure. He was still figuring it out. Mercedes Moné at first, with the New Japan debut, shit like that.
Oh yeah,
it took her a minute to figure it out. It took Okada a minute to figure out. But the one thing that Tony Khan does and does right is he goes, all right, you have time. Figure out your character. I'm going to put you on TV. If it's rough, we'll figure it out. But I'm not going to just pull you and change your gimmick and write all your shit. I'm going to let you figure out your character.
Everyone we've mentioned so far, since they made the jump to AEW, had those issues where it was a fucking rough 6 months for them.
Tony Storm.
Yeah, Tony Storm. It was just such a until like you said, TK just gave him that time. It was like, hey, I'm paying you multiple millions of dollars a year while also paying for your travel and probably your housing and your hotel stay and whatnot and your food and other stuff. But hey, just tranquilo, man. Just imagine if Naito had knees.
Yeah.
The impact he would fucking make in AEW.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's refreshing because that these people, when they come over, are going to get a chance to do their thing and do it the right way. It's not, they're not going to just, the shit doesn't work. I mean, look how many chances Anthony Bowens and Scorpio Sky have had to try to redo Daniel Garcia. We're going to figure this out.
Great example. Great fucking example.
And they figured it out with him. They got him in a spot that works, and they just do a good job of letting the talent be the talent. It's the thing I always bitched about with WWE. You're paying for this person to be part of your business, but then you change everything about them. So why did you sign them in the first place? They sign these people in AEW, and they okay, how do you want to portray yourself? Okay, well, you don't know. Okay, Ricochet, are you a heel? Are you a face? We don't know. Let's figure it out. And then when they figure it out, they're like, great, now we can expand. And it works. So
I think he's the face to the MS community.
and once again, this is the difference between bringing in independent wrestling talent who have had reps and signing track stars.
1,000%.
And I want to talk, I want to throw this in there too. You mentioned, the Ospreay Omega promo in the back. Ospreay John Moxley, tremendous match. Ospreay the babyface, knocks him with the hidden blade to start the match, asks how much time he has left. Great, I'm going to kill this guy. And he's whooping his ass, and then he makes that one mistake, and Moxley, okay, now, motherfucker, now you pissed me off, and it's personal. Yep. Now I'm going to beat your ass.
Don't make it personal. It's not personal for me. Don't make it personal. And that's what does him in, because he makes it personal for like 16 minutes. The whole fucking match until Moxley sees he's like, well, I'm going to break your neck again. And I'm going to do it over and over. Moxley, again, figured it out. The first fucking 4 months of the Death Rider thing was like, what is this nonsense he's doing? The first promo, you're like, oh, okay, he's weird with it. He's cool. Then the second promo, you're like, okay. And then you find out he's getting his character insight from, a pro-Nazi character from, an old, I think it was Eric Bana movie or Russell Crowe movie or whatnot. And then you're like, huh. And then he's like adding more people, and then he makes Marina Shafir important, and then he makes Wheeler Yuta important. Cesaro was already fucking important, and then like you said, breathes new life into Daniel Garcia, where he's a step above a lackey Yuta, But it makes sense because he's that little fucking pit bull dog.
Yeah, he's a badass over there. I love it.
And then now you're like, okay, yeah, he's done with the dancing, but he's gonna fuck you up, and he's gonna be a cocky asshole.
And then you got Pac, right? It's fucking Pac.
And then Pac I forget because he's there, he's not there, he's wearing a shirt, he's not wearing a shirt, he's just fucking, he's Pac, he's great. And then the entrances now, I'm sure you've noticed, where they're all like, they would always come off in the back or in a truck, but now they're like in cool fucking back rooms or locker rooms, and it's all dimly lit in. There's like a red light. And everyone's like in their corner. It's like a fucking work of art or like a mid-2000s music video. And, who's ever having their match are just walking out. And then fucking Shafir is just punching Moxley and let's fucking go. And Moxley he didn't have that the first, part of this. And we were all like, what the fuck? And then it just clicked. And then, he just goes on a tear and you're like, oh, this is a champion that you want to see lose. Like everything, just like you said, the timing and letting it breathe and figuring it out just has helped so much. Where we know in the WWE, if you fucking fail, that's Buff Bagwell. If you fail in a 5-minute match, you're fucking done. And your legacy is wiped. Or just anyone that we've seen, just fall off the cliff. You're like, wait, what happened to that guy? Or what happened to his or her push? And you don't get that with this company. Sometimes you do. But if you're a big swole, sometimes it's deserved.
But and I think, too, they've figured out their mistakes over the years of what they did wrong. And they're not doing those. And once, like you said, they didn't go, well, Death Riders isn't working. Let's just scrap it and do something different. They went, okay, Mox, we're struggling a little bit. We got to figure out how to do it. What other ideas you got? Or what else can we add? Or have you tried doing this? Or see what happens if you try this. Or let's give you this guy. They organically try to make the things work the right way. And then when they figure it out, then they start pushing them. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Marina Shafir is doing the same thing that Josh Alexander did and that it doesn't concern me whatsoever. When she's in a singles match against somebody established, she doesn't win. She shouldn't win. She's still not a great wrestler. She's getting better, but she's going to take time to improve. And that's what they're doing. She, in the multi-man matches, she gets victories because there's other people. But, Alex Windsor, she beats her with she gives her almost like Shingo's move. Just gets the victory because as a singles, Shafir's not there yet. So they don't push her. But I guarantee you when she starts, 6 months from now, if she really starts putting it together, I wouldn't be shocked if she gets a TNT title feud.
They put her in the ring with Toni Storm and it worked. Like Storm guided her, but also they knew okay, your character's this. I'm a legit shooter. How can we make this, believable and still tell a story? And I thought they had a really good feud, until Tony Storm, had to make an exit for the rest of this year. But I mean, she's been improving and improving, and it's just her facials.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who this person. We don't know who that person was doing the "You Don't Know Me" sketch, because it's a whole fucking new ball game.
Remember that fucking flower hat she was wearing too?
Oh yeah.
Like, and once again, it's, hey, we'll figure it out together. Let's just make it work.
Yeah.
They're hitting on all cylinders, and God. And then Kyle O'Reilly gets the win, which makes the most sense. I thought it was
the only Canadian that won. Only Canadian that got a victory. A well-deserved victory, especially with the passing of his father. Condolences out to KOR, the health struggles he's had. But that cool fucking TGIF opening with the conglomeration. Kyle O'Reilly, the special guest, if you will, the returning, and Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy. They had a fucking set, Ryan, an 80s TV living room set. And then Gabe Kidd is just taking a leak on it. Fucking Clark Connors is fucking
Clark
shit
Connors
out of the couch.
fucked the hell out of that couch, man.
Like it was a ship. He was like pulling his inner Rick James, but literally and figuratively doing it. It's a fun match. This was a match I grown. I was like, why do we need this? But the feel good at the end. The only loss of this pay-per-view was the loss of Gabe Kidd. Yeah. As we found out, he's out for quite a while.
Tore his shoulder, I think.
I mean, this is the guy cannot catch a fucking break.
Look, Clark,
whether it's New Japan or here, but
Clark Connors looked at that. Before he came out, he told his woman, "This is what we're doing later," and then he smacked Tekla's ass and then destroyed a couch.
Destroyed many couches.
Awesome.
Speaking of Tekla, though. That was my match of the fucking night.
Real quick. Before we jump off of that, the thing that I liked about this was too, is even you had to figure out something for the TV or for the TNT or the TNT title. I said TNT, yes. I meant TBS for Shafir.
TBS. Yeah.
So the TNT title, they had to figure it out with Fletcher getting hurt. They go with Kevin Knight, as we said.
Kevin Knight.
Instead of just having him have two titles like they do with a lot of these guys, I understand you made the Dogs a transitional team to get them onto the baby faces to keep, because obviously I feel like the baby faces are they're just gonna not even 24 hours, I don't think.
I think you're right.
I think that you're just going to have Cassidy, Strong, and O'Reilly slot into the Jet Speed Mystical slot of whoever they were going to feud with as a heel team, because it makes the most sense. But I don't hate the idea that you now have an image of those heels coming out as champions. So you made them look important for whether it was a day or not. They showed up in a pay-per-view as champions. And
I thought another time David Finlay's going to hold gold in that company?
Probably.
Clark Connors deserves more. Give that guy a fucking TNT title.
And then
TBS doesn't matter.
Obviously, and then go ahead. You had Tekla and Hayter you were going to talk about.
Minus the APA of it all with the Brawling Birds, Hayter and Alex Windsor.
The bar?
Beer. The bar, kind of right there in the backstage. I laugh, but I'm like, what the fuck? But she just downed that beer, like, let's fucking go. Tekla, I mean, is she the best women's wrestler that's in America? Yeah. Do I want to? Is there, since she was with Stardom, even though she wasn't fired from Stardom, wait, she was fired from Stardom.
Well, I love that they gave her that angle on her way out, too.
And I love it, yeah. And
it was such a cool angle.
Are we going to get her and Saya?
Oh, fuck me.
At Forbidden Door?
Oh, my Lanta. Holy shit.
We go to San Jose.
Oh, my God. That man.
No, but Tekla and Hayter just, they were literally brawling birds. Like, they were beating the shit out of each other, going in and out of the ring. The suplexes, just Bray Wyatt moves, just... This was the Hayter we loved like 2-3 years ago, where again injury took her out of the title, picture in the hunt and as champion, I want to say, and and they just told a story of just fucking hatred. And this was Tekla's like starting feud, and it was just so off and on. Everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this Tekla? Why is she walking like that? What is this?" It was just an awkward start for her. It was a weird time for Hater, but then it all just clicked, and this was just such a fun match. Probably my favorite women's match, stateside, for sure of the year, I would say. And Tekla's probably my favorite wrestler to not only watch, but let her go on the fucking mic.
Yeah, she rocks.
Her promo that she cut the week of, before the show, the go home show, where she was like, I forgot what she said, but she was like, "You're gonna be a dead bitch or a dumb bitch dead or some shit like that." I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like,
she's
Tekla
awesome.
is my goddess. But yeah, I can't wait to see her.
2022 Royal Rose winner in the Summit, by the way. Just want to
Oh, nice.
Just want to put over Tekla's been winning in this household for years.
Yeah, I get the hype, man. No, she's finally she figured out her character. She figured out the Sisters of Sin. Hey, we got a few lackeys that will get beat up quickly. But I think this is the perfect heel for either a Toni Storm return, if you turn Monet face, kind of in a way, or you don't even need to do that. Just have her say, "Hey, I'm coming for your title." I'm not saying do it right away. Build her up a little. We got to build Monet back up, especially after losing all of her championships.
I think she's got 1 or 2 left, and that's it.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that she was completely done.
I think she still has like a Malaysia one, and like.
No, they had to return that. They couldn't make it work, apparently. And then the Malaysian owner was like, "No, we tried," and then that's all I heard. But Tekla's just doing some of the best work. I don't know who you build. It looks like we're getting her in a Windsor that already happened tonight on Collision, which I cannot wait to kind of see. I'm not even going to look at spoilers. That's how I'm excited to watch AEW television, especially Collision, because they have been on a fucking roll. As we stated last week or 2 weeks ago, we get to see Ospreay getting jumped by the Death Riders in the parking lot, and then a fucking SUV rolls in the lot, and you see these dudes in suits, Hanare, fucking Callum Newman, and my boy AJPW's own Francesca Akira, and then Alex Windsor coming out to help her boy, just kind of brawl with the Death Riders, which led to a Canadian Chaos Collision match to main event their anarchy in the arena, if you will, which I thought they would have waited till Double or Nothing, but they put on a fucking show. Hanari and Cesaro signed me up forever. They've just been on a heater since the first of the year, and I just think it's just going to get bigger for All Elite Wrestling.
I thought she still had the body slam title she won in Denmark. That's the one I thought she lost it to Alexis Falcon. That's the one I missed.
It's a cool ass name.
Yeah, ironically, on the Progress show I was watching earlier today, they were talking about how there's a tournament and the winner's trying to fight Alexis Falcon for the Progress women's title. I believe it was because she has the Rev Pro title, the Body Slam title that she got from Monet, Progress, TGW, whatever that is, NGW, whatever that is, and the DW title. So she has like 6 belts herself.
Gross.
And the OPW women's... No, never mind. She lost that. Okay, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Yeah, I mean, you could have Monet come back and that would be fine. Like, and that was the one thing that I had praised the whole time is I was like, listen, man, I'm highly confident after she wins all these titles, when she loses her main AEW one, she's going to go back to all these places and just put people over because she gets it. Mm-hmm. Like, she fucking understands it.
Oh, man, she totally does. Speaking of getting it, main event, Ryan, as many people in the house, as we're watching the match, are like, hey, why does he look like Ryan? I said, Ryan looks like many a wrestler, but Kenny Omega is definitely one of them. A lot of people bitched about this match. I know when we talked the other day, we kind of preferred their first bout that they had on Collision many years ago when that show first started out. But Omega looked good. He takes the L. We get to see an amazing one-winged angel, and I'll let you kind of take the floor on this main event of MJF. The Devil, versus the Pro Wrestling God, where apparently people are calling Kenny Omega that, Ryan, but I swear we heard them just try to gaslight the audience into thinking that when we were live in St. Paul on the 25th of March,
but sure.
back at Dynamite. But Ryan, what did you think of the main event?
I thought it was awesome. I love the fact that they hit that One Wing Angel you bring up, and they take, you know, it's about as much time as Triple H took to pin Booker T at Mania 18. And he kicks out.
Good
and
reference.
Everybody's going to count that. Like, to me, I don't count that. To me, it's still Kota Ibushi's the only man that's ever kicked out of this move. But God damn it, 30 seconds into the promo on Wednesday, he goes, I'm also the only one to kick out of the One Wing. Like, it was great. It's just giving the heel more ammunition. I'm sure it was Kenny's idea. I wouldn't be shocked. You know, Kenny's doing everything in his power, and you could see MJF kept trying to find ways to cheat, and there was never openings, and he's getting pummeled, he's getting pummeled. There's a slight opening, he shoves the ref into him, gets the ref knocked down, he gets the ring, throws the body shot like Golovkin with the ring, hits him with a tombstone through a table that he set up in the first 2 minutes of the match that, you know, to try to get you to forget about it, that they do. And then he hits the heat seeker on him after it's all, and wins the match. And that's why he's such a fun champion with it, because they give you all this, and your babyface is going through so many things that they should win, and they just can't get the job done, or he rolls out of the ring, and then that one opening, and he strikes, and that's all it takes. And you could tell everybody in the building's like, oh, God damn it, he's going to win again. And that's what you want a heel champion to be. You know, it's the reason why last night worked so well, too, because you literally piggyback. I think what made this Dynamite so great to me, on top of everything we've talked about, is they literally piggybacked it from the pay-per-view. We got 3 or 4 backstage promos that they didn't show that were from the pay-per-view to continue to build things. As we talked about, the MJF promo at the beginning was literally just piggybacking off of 2 different matches from this pay-per-view. They get in there and they do all it. Darby's cuts one of the most passionate promos I've seen him ever cut. And he's a passion piece promo guy, not in a bad way. And MJF is just MJF, you know, he's doing everything he can to get out of it. He beat Kenny, he's sore, his back hurts. They give him the match, the main event happens, and the same thing. Hey, you never took the ring from me, Aubrey. He gives her the ring. She's, you know, you can hear, this was in your pants. And he now has an opening that he created because he's such a smart heel, and he kicks him right in the nuts. And I went, son of a bitch, he's going to win just like that. And as he stated, I'm going to beat his ass with a headlock takeover again, to which, contrary to what they said, he's beaten him 3 times that way. Full Gear in Minnesota, Double or Nothing the next year, and before AEW was even thought about being created, a dark-haired Darby Allin got low-blown and headlock taken over in Limitless Wrestling by an MJF move. And he lost there to 3-4 years before their first time they ever did it in AEW. So this was a thing that they've done in other promotions. So it's like, to me, it was even better when they added that. And then when he finishes that promo going, and I'm going to beat your ass with a headlock takeover, and he spikes the mic, I went, he better fucking win this title. And they take all the momentum with him beating Andrade. He getting his ass kicked by Andrade, but figuring out a way to win. The same way MJF always figures out ways to win. And then he goes and does the same thing and just low blows him right back. And then fucking smokes him with his finish 4 times. Scorpion Death Drop before that. And every time he's doing these, I'm going, this is, at some point, when is he going to catch him into a crucifix pin? Or when is he going to put his knees up? Or when is he going to roll out of the ring?
Yeah. The crucifix pin I thought was going to happen right after the 4th one. I honestly thought it was going to happen.
And he fucking picks him back up. And when he put him in the headlock, I literally went, oh my God, he's winning the title. I can't, they did the right thing. And then he wins. And it brings you full circle to now I'm so glad that we invested into that pay-per-view because the real payoff was Wednesday. It wasn't the pay-per-view.
Correct. Because the whole thing was Darby Allin gets a title shot if he beats Andrade or whoever won that match. But it was like Darby Allin gets it. And then, before the main event at the pay-per-view at Dynasty, they cut to Darby Allin and he's spitting. He was like, Dynamite's in Everett, I'm from Everett, this is where I grew it, this is where I trained, and this is where I became the wrestler at Buddy Wayne's Academy, and, MJF, I challenge you this Wednesday. And again, more passion I've seen from him besides Wednesday, where I was like, holy shit, he just upped the ante from Sunday. But my only thing was like, hey, there's two things. Tony Khan, who was like, you can only declare a title match two weeks before it happens. So I thought that was interesting. And B, MJF always is off AEW TV the week after a pay-per-view, especially after a victory. And so they totally contradict these two things. In my mind, I'm like, Monday, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You're supposed to give 2 weeks. The whole reason of that is because of MJF. And then I was like, wait, but why is he going to show up at TV if he normally never shows up at TV? Those calls aside, which are just shitty, that's just overthinking. Again, they just hit everything right. And when Old Man Sting comes out and says, no, it's not,
It's not showtime. It's your time.
It's not showtime. It's your time. Tears, Ryan. I was like, I totally don't understand, and I'm so ignorant to the historical significance in professional wrestling of Steve Borden, of Sting, of Crow Sting, of Surfer Sting, of TNA Sting. We're not going to count WWE Sting. But the importance that I respect him more is this last run that he's had in AEW. And for them to get him to put the face paint back on was fucking incredible. And they do the Mick Foley. And Sunday, I'm like, they're going to Mick Foley the shit out of this. Like, I'm the smartest man in the room. Then everybody's like, oh, they're going to Mick Foley it. And I was like, well, they're going to do it because it's a Mania. They want to, shoot some noise. Like, why not? Shoot your load first. Peter North all over the place.
So,
but
I have a question.
You just did it right. Yeah.
And I twofold, because I'm still trying to decide, like, obviously, I guess it's more just one question. I'm starting to think that this was a very elaborate plan from a long time ago. Because you obviously
knew the locations, the home locations.
We knew the locations, so you had that going.
Yeah.
MJF is doing a movie. So he obviously had to tell him, I can't start filming until X date.
But he filmed that movie last year. That's why I'm confused. Unless it's reshoots. But you can do a reshoot overall.
No,
but he already filmed that movie.
I thought it was a new project.
That's already been debunked. No, that I read while we're doing the show. That's already been debunked.
Okay, so never mind. That takes away my whole question.
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp, I believe, was like, I texted someone there, and they're like, he's on the schedule.
Gotcha. Okay, because to me, and the other reason I thought it was always planned too is or why I was thinking maybe it was an impulse thing, is with how bad this Pat McAfee and WWE shitting on their product like they did. This is the second time this company's been so bad they've decided to just shit on themselves, because they did this with Baron Corbin once.
Hey, we can't get Travis Scott, so we'll get a white guy and we'll dress him up like Travis Scott.
Well, it's because fucking
Poochie situation.
Ari Emanuel thinks this guy's the next Sylvester Stallone. That's why he's fucking on this. And this is the interesting thing with that. And we can get to that because we can talk. We can do a quick WrestleMania talk to wrap up.
Oh no, this segues perfectly in the WrestleMania. The thing with that, you can't deny his drawing power. This guy's not literally making $500 million in media rights a fucking year. This guy's making hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Just for doing a shitty sports talk show that he just jumps around and manic depresses all over his fucking stage. While he has fucking idiot lackey friends who just go, yes, boss, AJ Hawk being a silent dumbass who's, I'm pretty sure, trafficked some sort of things back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. But, allegedly. But it's just, Yeah, I don't get what they see, but again, it's just a white Travis Scott down to the sunglasses.
So that also makes me think that, okay, they're like, let's steal the headlines, and that's why they did it. I think, if it wasn't planned, I think it shows how smart they are, that they pay attention to things like that, because it's like I said, the rest, Wrestle Talk, the guys over in England, their header did air AEW won WrestleMania was literally the header. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was a solid way to do it, and it hasn't been proven. I don't believe. I've seen maybe one or two different outsources. I can't even remember who the fuck they were, so it might not have even been important. But I truly believe this is the first move of TKO calling their shot and telling WWE, we're doing what we want on your program because we own you. And this to me was Ari Emanuel going, Triple H, this shit sucks. You're going to put my guy on your TV now. And that's why they did the thing. And that to me goes, okay, if they're inserting their nose in the business, what is this company going to be 2 years from now?
Well, they've already been like that since kind of the takeover, or at least the last 6 months, or let's be real, the last year when they fucking inserted Dwayne Johnson in the board of directors. My thing with that though is I think they're utilizing, hey, we could be the heavies. We're a successful billionaire company. We don't give a shit. I think they inserted them, but I think it was a collaborative effort. We're like, hey, we'll just pin it on you. We'll get those idiots to believe, like, yeah, we already sold 32,000. Let's sell another 10 per night and lower tickets. Fuck the other people that spent silly ass mortgage prices on their shitty show.
You're doing 25% off
spectacle,
with McAfee announcing this on your television.
Yeah. So it's chaotic, but I think it's not as chaotic as the last couple of years. It's just stupidity.
I truly believe Cody Rhodes had no idea that what was even going to be said in that promo.
I don't think anyone did.
I don't believe Randy Orton did.
Promo Central the last 3 weeks in WWE. It's been fucking Hangman going for himself, but with like Punk, with McAfee, with Cody, with McIntyre, with everyone going at it, Roman Reigns, talking shit about the product, where I don't get where they go back to it. It smells of WCW Vince Russo shit to me. Where I'm like, why are you going to bury yourselves? They're not going to go out of business. They have way too much money invested in coming in, especially from the Saudis. So, I mean, that's not a worry. They're not going to go under like WCW, but it's like they're shitting on their product to then hopefully do anew. They have a rebirth with this weekend set of WrestleMania. You go back to the big thrilling surprises of your, Raw after Manias. I think they might be going into the right direction. This card again is just like, huh?
You know why they're not?
But on paper, it seems okay.
You know why? You know why? To me, it's not working. Is you have CM Punk cutting a promo on somebody who's not even in the same match as him on the pay-per-view. Why is CM Punk feuding with Pat McAfee now?
Well, but his was good. I mean, we all needed to hear all that stuff.
Yeah, whether it was good or bad, I don't give a shit about that. What I'm worried about
is he's retorting to McAfee. He's saying, "Hey,
he shouldn't care."
Why?
Because they're not on the same show. They're on two different brands.
It's the same company. It's the same fucking company. But why shouldn't it care?
Because this company
You're getting your checks from the same thing.
This company can't take 2 steps forward without tripping over its own feet. Why are you trying to get this advanced?
Because there's so many fucking hands in the fucking storytelling. That's why.
Who cares?
We've seen that on Unreal.
But that's the point. So why are you trying to do more? When you can't even walk normally, don't try to get into this extra convoluted shit where you're combining storylines. Because in return, then you have the Orton McAfee thing.
Because you have the oohs and the ahs from the internet people, from your streamers, your clips from your bullshit Twitch people, or your TikTokers, and they just want the reaction shots. That's all they've ever wanted.
And that sucks.
So that's what they're going to get from it. It does suck, but that's just the way it is. You have to adapt. Otherwise, you're going to fucking die.
If I didn't know any better, I would think Punk is wrestling McAfee at Mania after that promo.
Well, he had one, yeah, but that was weeks ago. Then he went back to Roman, so it was fine. He needed to retort. It was a fucking 2-line thing. I thought it was effective.
It was like 5 minutes.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know. It's not, I don't know.
We
whatever.
need the word. I think Vakor and Liv Morgan is way more fucking in trouble than that shit. Like, what are we doing with this storytelling of Vakor essentially being the heel and Liv Morgan being, the face of this whole fucking quote-unquote feud, which has just made your champion look like shit ever since she's gotten this championship. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget Paris. But then you have Liv Morgan just almost getting concussed days before Mania. And you're like, what the fuck are we doing? You have Rhea Ripley, who's battling an eating disorder. Oh, yeah, go out on our biggest stage. Go wrestle, when they should have been like, oh, we're going to send you to treatment. I think that's a way bigger fuck up than CM Punk talking about Pat McAfee for fucking 5 minutes. Sorry.
I mean, and I get it. Like, it is what it is. It's my perspective. But you're doing a bad job at, like, I don't care about this main event.
Bill's been a bad job. We've been shitting on this for years now, for fucking 15 years. And you know why? Because it all starts with one guy, and that's Roman Reigns. He was right about everything he said about Punk. You went on a podcast, you made everything fucking hard for me for the last 15 years. And or 10 years or whatever. And it's true, but it's just because he just wasn't the guy. He just couldn't be the guy. And we were all stuck in our fucking houses when he became big because he could walk around and talk, and it was the only fucking thing that we could watch live that was in production at that time. So it kind of took off. And then it got really fucking stagnant for months. And then, plucky French Canadian hypened and livened it up a little and made them more characters than he ever was. Roman Reigns is garbage. He's not very good. The whole gimmick, he's raising his finger up. You got, again, reactionary fucking audience. That's all they are. They're fucking trained monkeys. They can't see what we see majority of the time. And we're vice versa. Let's not be real. Some of this shit is very enjoyable. I'm not going to lie. It is kind of fun. I'm intrigued to see what they're going to do with a Trick Williams. I'm intrigued to see what Jade Cargill has learned during this buildup. If she's going to do something within this match, it goes, okay, maybe there is promise here. I'm intrigued to see what a Javon Evans does with a fucking Rey Mysterio or a Rusev or a Dragon Lee. And the only fucking build to this match is you're going to get for free. And if they really fuck up, the biggest telling is this Obafemi Brock Lesnar match, because if Lesnar goes over, that's when you gotta fucking go, oh my God, we're in trouble. Every other thing doesn't fucking matter. Let's be real. That's the match that's only had a build that's made sense. That's the match where you put a fucking rocket on this Obafemi guy. If they shit the bed like a Vince McMahon would do in the creative, then we're all fucked. Then it's just like, well, what's the fucking point? Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. Randy Orton doesn't need a fucking main event any wrestling show in the last fucking 15 years. This guy's been trash. He was good from 04 to 08, and that was about fucking it. One of the best drop kicks in the world. Him and Rhodes, kiss my ass. I don't give two shits. But Seth Rollins, Gunther. Again, like I said earlier, put fucking Ilya Dragunov in Rollins' spot. That's a match where you can just throw on and be like, we're going to get a 20-minute classic. With this, we're going to say this was good just due to the fact that it's just going to be a really good wrestling match. And if that's all, woe is us. But it's WrestleMania. We're going to have fun. We're going to nitpick. We're going to shit on it. And then we're going to go, But the important thing is what they do with this future. And I really hope this is going to be a reset going forward for them.
So I think Trick is going to win the title. I do think that. But I'm not 100% confident that Brock's losing.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest hiccup they can do, is if they have Brock win.
You can tell that Brock is trying to get him over, especially with the, hey, put your foot on my chest thing.
Yeah.
Like, Brock gets it. He's there for the money. He doesn't care about winning or losing. We've known that about Brock. But that doesn't mean Triple H is going to have win, or Nick Khan isn't going to want him to win. Yeah, I can see that happening. And I think everyone needs to get ready for another 1.5-year title reign for Roman Reigns too. I think everyone needs to be ready for that, because he's totally beating Punk. Mm-hmm. Punk ain't winning this match. I mean, he might, but I don't think he's winning this match.
I don't think there's a winner in that match, honestly. Meaning, whoever wins, it's just what does Punk do? Who's going to be a challenger for him? Unless it's the only way if Roman Reigns wins is if you do a fucking Darby Allin MJF thing and you have Oba Femi if he beats Lesnar, beat Reigns the next night on Raw. That's how you make something happen. But apparently Roman Reigns is a big asshole behind the scenes and no one likes him, so we'll see where that goes and what pull that he allegedly has. Or we know he has.
I think he's winning, and the more and more I think that the more, like, after thinking about it even more with our last conversation 2 minutes ago, I'm kind of thinking the reason Punk started talking about McAfee is he's going to feud with McAfee after this.
Well, the thing is if Orton loses, which we don't think they will, because the rumor thing for the next pay-per-view, PLE, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is...
that tag match or whatever?
It's going to be Orton McAfee versus Rhodes and Jelly Roll, even though the stipulation in this match is if Orton loses, McAfee will leave pro wrestling permanently.
Well, so there's a
So
rumor
they
that...
gave away the finish.
There's a rumor that Orton's injured.
Ooh, okay.
So...
Oh my God, are we getting Rhodes McAfee?
I hate this company.
What if Steve Austin comes out, he's like, because he lives in Vegas, what if he just rolls in and is like, Cody Rhodes, I will challenge you on the fucking 25th anniversary of 17.
I want to know why the last 3 WrestleManias, Cody's just wrestled old men.
Well, he's an old man himself. He's 40.
I mean,
but yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Like
Cena and Reigns.
and Rock the year before in that tag. Like, obviously,
the tag match. Yeah.
Like,
Well,
obviously,
cool.
that was 2 different things. But, like, at the same time,
Yeah.
like, why can't Cody Rhodes feud with some up-and-comer?
But who's that up-and-comer?
Anybody.
Like, if they didn't do him and Gunther at Saudi Arabia, I think that would have been a perfect Mania match
and
for the title.
And the other thing, and I think it's going to be a better match, so I shouldn't be mad about it, but I'm confused. Like, okay, you had to change course with Gunther because Ray was injured, so you went with the Rollins route because he didn't have an
No, he's in
opponent.
a ladder
Yeah.
match.
Why is this injured
ladder match.
Tell me why this injured motherfucker is going to wrestle in something that is going to injure him again.
When I read his name in there, I was like, this is a joke, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, my God. The Allies of Convenience was that tag name I was trying to think of, by the way. It just came to me. The Bliss and Charlotte. It's one of the worst fucking names I've ever heard of in my life.
I mean, that's a fun name because of their history. I mean, I get it. So I mean, but they're trying to. Let's be real. AEW has some really crazy names for their tandems.
Oh, their
and
names
teams.
suck. They have some stupid fucking names.
So I mean, at least they're kind of going along with the grain of their competition.
My 10-year-old kid can say Babes of Wrath. My 10-year-old kid can't say Allies of Convenience. That's all.
I mean, if there's a shirt, I want to buy it. That's pretty cool.
God, it's fucking. I don't know, man. This Mania is gonna.
You remember we used to love those 2 women?
Mm-hmm. Remember when we used to love Mania? We used to have parties for it and hang out, and it was must-see watch. Now
I know. I mean, I'm going and hosting parties for it, but I mean,
Saturday I'm not even gonna watch the first night until after I finish the indie shows because there's something I can't remember what it is. That is that day that I'm more thrilled to watch. Like that was never the case. Now I'm just like, God.
I'm just excited for Saturday because I'm going to watch it somewhere with free smoke and free steaks.
Hell yeah! Enjoy your time in the kitchen.
Otherwise, we're gonna shit on it and laugh. But again, like we always say, we don't want it to suck. But like, it's hard to defend. But I think they're trying. But there's just too many fucking people trying to work creative. Just let Triple H do it. Like, we don't need the 9 guys we've seen on Unreal. Like, just Fatu and McIntyre can be really good, but like we've seen it.
I don't care
the tag
about
match. Yeah, I don't give a shit about the Usos, but them and LA Knight, I swear they were just feuding.
They were. They were. Damn it, they were.
Like, I was just like weren't the Usos heel like 2-3 weeks ago against Punk, and then all of a sudden they had heel music? It's like, no, we're gonna make you yeet because it's a Mania and you're on ESPN The Ocho, not even Uno, the dose. But I show speed. I'm intrigued by that. Apparently, he can do some moves in the ring. I don't know. AJ Lee, Becky Lynch. I don't give a shit.
Oh my god.
Just because I've literally seen it. I don't know what else they can do.
AJ Lee stinks too.
Yeah, she's not very good.
She's not even good at a promo anymore. I watched. So I turned on one of the shows because I wanted to see there was something I wanted to see. I can't remember what it was.
Was it John Tenta?
That would have been tight. But they had like some sit down interview, and AJ Lee gets so confused in the middle of a taped promo that she just starts saying her catchphrases and then leaves. And I was like, okay, that was an effective promo. Like I remember when people used to talk about how good she was on the promo.
She was good on the promo. She is good on a promo. I mean, I don't watch this shit, but it's probably because the AJ Lee of it all.
She was like, Becky, I know you thought I wasn't supposed to be here, but I'm here now, and I know that I'm your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. And I was like, oh, she didn't know what to do. She's just saying shit now at this point. She's just kind of promo.
There's really not a match on night one where I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so happy I'm not getting this ESPN subscription for this Mania. But yeah, like this literally is a fucking Backlash to Roadblock Hell Chamber card. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like this seems like a 1995 wrestling card, not even a WrestleMania, a wrestling card. Cody Rhodes, I don't know. Like I know he's been wanting this match, but Orton doesn't need to be in a fucking Mania.
You know what this reminds me of with Orton?
Where's Io? Where the fuck is Io and Asuka? We were told that was gonna happen.
Io got squashed by Jade Cargill on SmackDown, I think.
Oh my god.
You know what this Cody Randy feels like now that I'm thinking about it with us kind of
Trips
talking
and
about
Randy at 25, one of the worst matches ever.
This reminds me of like 3 years ago when MJF was a babyface and he booked his own shit, so he just worked his friends. And it didn't work. That's what this feels like. I just want to work my guy Randy. All right, Cody.
It feels like 25.
Oh, God. Throw him through a damn house then.
Fuck yeah, that would have been dope. He's like, hard times, daddy.
Is it crazy that I think the only successful angle that Triple H has had is the one he inherited from Vince, being the bloodline?
Bloodline, yeah. I don't know, this Femi Lesnar.
Hopefully.
Cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It depends on the... Yeah, I'm looking at this card, dude. Like 8 years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, when I see CM Punk Roman Reigns, I'm like, that's WrestleMania. That's what it's all about. And the first week promo was good. You know, Roman Reigns almost suffered succotash, you know, in the middle of it, but then he picked it up at the end. Then they're talking about him being old, which I was like, oh, he's suffering succotash in this shit. And they're talking about, oh, you got dead dads. And I'm like, oh, Lord. And it's like, no, I want to be you because you had a dad. Oh, this is weird. It's like, oh, I'm going to expose you because you take Saudi money and all your checks and you're a millionaire. It's like, what happened to be like, I hate you. I brought you in. Fuck you. Again, that first week's promo should have been the go home promo. Like when we saw that first week, I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Then I had the realization, oh fuck, we have 7 weeks left, and they literally shit the bed.
And their go home promo was praising each other.
Yeah, and I didn't even watch it because it looked so stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm with you. I
don't know what to think now. Like, I'm looking at this card, and I'm like, this just doesn't seem like a WrestleMania.
I'll be 100% honest with you. If I cared about these people, I think there's a lot of shit I would like on the show.
And they're stars. Like, we're getting Finn Balor in a co-main event against Dominic Mysterio. Talk about heel of the fucking decade. Or character, or most improved. Like, Dom, you got to give him his fucking due. Like, this guy has just figured it out as a sports entertainer. Like, this could be cool, but what's missing? Oh, yeah, a championship. We didn't need a 6-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match. We all fucking fantasy booked this, 3 months ago at the Rumble? Oh, we're going to get Dom Balor for the IC title at WrestleMania. And then they take away the title, and it's like, oh, who gives a shit? Like, I don't give a shit. Then he spoiled the demon. I don't even give 2 shits now.
Yeah, it would have been just cooler if he would have came out of a coffin like he did against Kota Ibushi at the Dome.
Yeah, I was about to say, if he did a fucking Venom gimmick, coming out like that shit again.
Fucking...
Under the same umbrella, ESPN and Disney and Marvel. I mean, they can make all that shit work. Zane Trick Williams, I don't give a shit. This should have been Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. We know the story. I don't know, man.
I agree.
Cargill and Ripley on paper works, but with Ripley saying, I've been battling an active eating disorder, like the muscle mass loss, I mean, it was a little weird. I'm like, oh, she's getting more tone. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I have an eating disorder. Why are you still wrestling? Go get help. Does that mean she's going to lose now to then go? Like, there's so many factors into play. And, oh, yeah, we're going to get a guy who's fucking adamantium, essentially, but still a broken down 52-year-old. We're going to have you getting thrown on, off, through a fucking Mania ladder. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I think the intrigue of Cargill and Ripley that I had was, I was like, ooh, this could turn into Charlotte Stratton and be a shoot. I'm there for that. And now that's gone away. Like, that whole hype is left. I'm like, damn it. Yeah. Instead, you try to make you take away the real life element that was supposedly there, and you put it with Pat McAfee instead. Like, fuck out of here.
I guess I'm looking forward to good food, good smoke, and a free WrestleMania weekend for me. So, I guess that's the only reason why. Because I'm looking forward to it. Otherwise, Punk and Reigns, man. Like, I love Punk, but.
You know what the problem? You know what the problem is with it is at the end of the day, if this would have been 10 years ago or 5 years ago, it would have been a lot better. And we just we've seen the deterioration, and we know that Roman in a big match can't carry it that well all the time.
No, and Punk.
Mm-hmm. And Punk is going to have to be the one to do it probably.
Yeah.
And it's just not him anymore. I think if we would have had the Punk we had in AEW, which still drives me nuts because, man, he was having some great fucking matches there, and I wish it would have worked. Mm-hmm. I think that Punk might have been able to get some more out of Roman than he's going to get. And maybe he has his Jericho moment on the show. And he goes, look, I got one more in the chamber. I'm going to get this guy over as the champ. And I will gladly eat my words. I don't mind. Like, I'm not wanting it. Spears. Well, the over-under is 3.5.
It makes sense. It's betting.
I bet online it's 3.5. So they think it's going to be more than 3 potentially.
So before we head out here on this confusingly downtrodden of a end of a WrestleMania card, are we going to get something like WrestleMania 40? Since John Cena's hosting, you got the fucking bloodline there, including a heelish Sami Zayn. Are we gonna get like a fucking? And we got The Rock. He's in Vegas for Cinecon.
Oh my God! Could you imagine if Triple H goes, "Fuck it, let's just bring the bloodline back"?
They do bloodline, but then you have Cena come out for Punk. Who else do you have come out? Do you have Cole Cabana? Like, who do we got here?
Boom, boom.
Could you imagine? Jeff Hardy comes out?
Jeff Hardy comes out. Could you imagine?
Still?
It's just like Matt Hardy when Hardy's... Yeah, exactly.
And then Jeff Hardy's like, I'm bloodline now, bitch. She's like, yeah.
I mean, does the Good Brothers come out? They'll take any payday.
Yeah. No, they're not welcomed anywhere except the Berwyn Eagles Ballroom.
Does Mads Kruger come out with a stab wound?
Oh, fuck. Fucking Beer City Bruiser.
He comes out. I'm for Chicago. I was really stabbed, even though they said I wasn't. God, CM Punk should cut a promo on that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you close a fucking wrestling institution for the Chicagoland area for decades.
You piece of shit.
Because you're an asshole.
Look, all I know is after Mania, Game Changer Wrestling, the Immortal Clusterfuck, the main event, Otis Kogar defending the Ultraviolent Championship against Matt Tremont, which is my feud of the year, in a hardcore Kingdom steel cage match. I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's a Kingdom, okay.
But I bet you there's going to be some shit going on. And I'll tell you, with the build to this match, where one of the matches had a finish where, as Tremont was pinning Dr. Redacted and Kogar's trying to come in to make the save, the two of them were just staring at each other, directly in each other's eyes as the ref counts to 3. It was an amazing visual. Then they have the title rematch where Tremont's trying to get the belt back. The match never even happens. It's the main event. And they leave the fans with the last image of the show of all three Vandal 40 jumping Tremont. They duct tape him to the ring rope, and they grab probably 60 light tubes and just continuously, one after another, break them all over his head. It was one of the craziest visuals of smoke, glass, and blood I have ever seen. And nobody cheered, nobody booed. Everyone just stood there silent, like, holy shit, they just killed him. So this match has got my blood pumping. So that's what I'm going to be waiting for fucking with Mania here. Is give me that shit. I don't care about the clusterfuck. I care about that shit.
Oh, actually, that does sound pretty intriguing. Triller Plus, everybody. The last time anything will ever be on Triller.
I hope Triller can just stay alive till Sunday's over. just get me
The Zone. Otherwise, AEW good, WWE bad. Puro's on the up and up, though. So, and Stardom's still breaking records. I still have that subscription. I think I've watched like 3 matches since January.
And
Stardom, they've all been pay-per-views. They've all been pay-per-views, all the good matches.
And even them having kind of a down year from last year is still better than a lot of shit that you see that like people are putting on. Like, the company's so good.
Yeah. But the women in AEW are definitely doing big things. They are finally assimilating and just figuring it out. And shout out to Willow Nightingale. She's playing that injured shoulder for the last couple of weeks very well. But WrestleMania, man, it's wild. Yeah, it's crazy how for 6 years it's just been.
It's frustrating.
We'll see. No, 39 was good. 38 was cool with the Rhodes re-entry, I suppose, and Austin coming back. I mean, they've had some big stuff, but yeah, this one, I just can't imagine going to another WWE show in my life. That's the crazy thing about it, where I'm happy to have gone to many, many AEW and New Japan shows, as we'll be going again to the G1 this July.
Look, the only way I'll go back is if they sign Fantastic Jessica and Big Ed the Geek, who are 2 people that are
Speaking of geeks,
organize International Wrestling Association, the Outliers Showcase.
Speaking of geeks, so before we say goodnight here, Ryan, one thing, after going to AEW with you, I was, at my sister's house, and her husband, big wrestling mark, but not as much as us. But he likes obscure shit.
Okay.
And he's like, dude, you know what I've been watching lately? I'm like, what? He's like, it's Juggalo Championship Wrestling. He's like, it's dog shit, but it's not a bad watch. And he put one, like the current episode of that week on, or the week before on. And I'm not gonna lie, Ryan. He fast forward, I would say half the show. He's like, we don't need to watch this. But he showed me the important shit. And it was actually not a bad watch. I wasn't bored. I wasn't on my phone. Their champion apparently was Suicide in TNA back in the day. A guy who kind of looks like Atticus Kogar. That's why I was really confused. But there's a guy named Cocaine.
He's the champ now.
Yeah, he's the champ.
He used to wear a cocaine outfit in all white, but I think he got sued. So that's why he switched his gimmick.
But dude, I'm not gonna lie, for the 30, 40 minutes we watched it, I wasn't bored, and I was like, oh my god, what is happening? So I thought I would, and I'm like, do I watch another JCW show? Even though, again, it's better than some indies I've seen, I guess. Probably a little bit better than some MLW, but I'm not saying we're gonna cover some JCW here, but
look,
not a bad 40 minutes of TV watching, I will say.
Tomorrow night, it's starting at 7, and then 7 o'clock. I think it starts at 7, and then at midnight is Spring Break, and then Stranglemania, And
Stranglemania.
I am going to be so stoned for this. I'm going to enjoy it, I think. If you looked at the card for this show...
No. Isn't there like a lot of like...
I'm gonna leave you with this card here before we sign off. And I'm going to read it from the bottom up. So I'm going to save the main event for the end. So we have the Jasmine St. Clair Monster Corporation of Mr. Happy, Congo Kong, and Beast Man versus George South, Ricky Morton, and Robert Gibson.
What?
And something called Kamikaze Chaos. No idea. It's Mickey Knuckles versus Kerry Morton.
Okay.
The Brothers of Funstruction, Yabo and Ruffo the Clown against something called the Outbreak, Jack Sin, S-Y-N, and Abel. Then we get a JCW American Championship match where the champion's fucking Facade against Mecha Wolf, Ninja Mac, Disco Ray, Mosh Pit Mike, and Charlie Haas. No idea why Charlie
Haas. Wow.
JCW Women's Championship with Katie Forbes as your special guest referee. We get Alice Crowley and Danny Moe versus J-Rod, the American Gladiator chick, and a mystery partner. But it's a title match, but it's a tag match. So I don't know how that's going to work. Makes it even better.
Is that going to be Bugs? Is it going to be Bugs?
Too Tough Tony, Willie Mack, and Rob Van Dam taking on Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Kenta.
What? Okay, I will watch that match.
Your semi-main event, JCW World Championship with EC3 as the special guest referee. Cocaine defends against Matt Riddle, Nick Nemeth, and Caleb Connolly.
That's the former champ, Caleb Connolly, yeah.
And then finally, the main event, the Vampiro retirement match. Vampiro, PCO, and Big Vito. And last night, PCO no-showed against one called Manders at the one match they were supposed to have. So I have no idea if PCO's even going to be here.
Got held up by Customs or...
Was that what happened?
Or something. No, I don't know. I'm just assuming something. Fucking Destro couldn't get them in or didn't have enough T-shirts to throw. I mean, there are 3 matches that I would watch on that show. No, but honestly, yeah, get stoned and enjoy because it's going to be like 4 hours of nonsense. But it's going to be worth it. Didn't Katie Forbes just have like twins with RVD?
I think so.
Damn, that's wild. Do you think Matt Riddle's the Godfather? Gimmick infringements. I want to see Knockout Bros versus RVD and Matt Riddle in a Let's Get High match.
That'd be tight as shit. When we did some draft, Kyle had Togi Makabe, RVD, and Yuto Ice, and he had like
That's
it was
awesome.
like a thumbs and fingers match or something where it was like Makabe and Yuto Ice because they both give the middle fingers, and then it was like Rob Van Dam. Yeah, so
Nice.
random.
Well done, Kyle. Well done.
I'm also
by the way, I never realized the parallels of Makabe and besides wrestling, Makabe and Ice.
that's funny as shit with the hair.
They do kind of look alike, even like the mannerisms, the head turns and whatnot.
the pudgier body.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Hell yeah! Mind you, I'm watching Dr. Redacted fighting in front of the Denny's on Fremont Street, bleeding all over the place.
Jesus Christ. It's not going to be good for business.
And finally, non-spoiler, but during the opening of the Demand versus Jet Speed Michael Oku match, there was a very, very loud "fuck TNA" chant going on.
Nice. And that was at the Hitchcock show, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
That was the makeup. Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about the shittiness of TNA and Carlos. The tail behind his legs, Carlos Silva, saying partnership issues by pulling a dream match that his big signee with his, since he took over TNA, of signing Leon Slater, and he was like, what's your dream match? Ricochet. Okay, let's make it happen for a good cause. And they're like, you know what? No. The week before last week it happened? Pulling TNA talent versus AEW talent? Not a good look.
It'll be interesting what it does with future people going over there and whatnot, and the pressure. Talk about, I think that's more pressure from TKO or Nick Khan than TKO is on Paul Levesque over there. But
there's
only
no
time will tell.
way. There is no way that TNA isn't being told that by WWE. I don't think.
Oh yeah. If you don't believe that, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, Ryan, it's been a hell of a talk. You'll be doing You'll be doing a draft here pretty soon, but also you'll be doing your WrestleMania weekend recap Saturday morning.
Oh, tight.
If I remember.
Let's go. It works for me.
You and Kid Tablet. Just show Tablet like 3 matches. Show him a cocaine match.
I'm going to show him what might be literally
The worst.
Oh, my Lord. And for anybody who hasn't seen this, where the fuck is it? Mania, the first show at 5 o'clock yesterday with these shows. The opening match, Leva Bates and Su Young versus Maserati and Jocelyn Navarro. I wrote rating, one of the worst matches I have ever seen. It is fucking horrendous.
Can't wait for that.
Get ready for that, people.
Well, I will be getting ready for bed. You will be getting ready for more wrestling since you're off of work.
The Despy show starts right now.
Fuck yeah. So it's been a fun time. You might catch me on a draft here coming up pretty soon on the WrestleCast radio podcast feed. Check out the previous Wrestle draft that was done a few days ago with Dusty Classic tag teams. I partook in one a couple weeks ago about NXT takeovers. And it was a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah,
so hopefully we'll be doing WrestleMania cards. Hopefully we'll get a few people on there. But ProWrestlingTees.com, just search WrestleCast, CAST Radio. Don't forget to check us out on RedCircle.com/WrestleCast Radio. Subscribe, follow, review us. Please give us 5 stars over wherever you get your podcasts. If you know a wrestling fan, show us some love. We know what the fuck we're talking about.
And shout out to the randomness that the U.S. is now the number 3rd most listened to country, as it's been passed by 2 other countries.
Which ones?
So the U.S. had, in the last month, had 83 downloads at 13% of our business. 120.
Don't say that around.
Iran at 128 downloads, 21% is number 2. And
You're kidding.
Swear to God, at 362 then above it is the United Kingdom at 59% of our downloads.
Yeah. Hey, let's build up our UK. I want to go to England so bad. I want to go to Ireland, the EU, all that good stuff. I'll take the channel.
I was very surprised. Germany at 4, Sweden 5, Netherlands 6, Ghana at 7, Ukraine at 8, India at 9, and South Africa at 10.
We'll all happily come to your countries when gas and fuel is not as expensive. But if that can get gas cheaper, we love you, number 2. Kidding. Yeah, well, this is a lot of fun. We will see you guys later. We'll be reviewing WrestleMania or probably Champions Carnival. All Japan looks like it's back. So say goodnight, Ryan.
Good night, Ryan.